Be fucking nice. Be fucking nice. Be nice.
All right. Welcome everybody to another BDA Boxing podcast, a late night comfy edition for everybody, extra comfy. I hope you're all sitting in bed, sitting on your favorite couch or whatever. I know some people are listening from way yonder. I know Sean Newton dropped by to say hello. He's in Asia, so it's in the morning right now where he's at. So shout out to Sean Newton. Shout out to everybody. Thank you for joining us. Flying solo tonight. Like I said, extra comfy edition. Maybe you people don't care, but I'm gonna say it anyway because I get the mic. Tomorrow, snow. The first snow projected for Canada. Oh boy, it's gonna be a lot of snow. But then again, for all of you that live in warm climates where you don't have any snow, I gotta tell you, the snow really makes you strong because it forces you to become one with the snowflakes. And there comes a point where you don't even feel the cold because you are the cold. So shout out to every cold person out there. Let's get the business out of the way before we get down to the fun, because we do have a lot to talk about here. Jesus, what am I doing? If you want to contribute to the show, you can continue to do so by listening, as you always do. Loyal listeners, continue to subscribe, hit that like button, spread the BDA gospel. And if you get a couple of shekels lying around, why don't you send those shekels down our way, become a shekler, and you can contribute via the super chat feature during the YouTube stream, or you can go on over to the PayPal or Patreon BDA page. And also subscribe to the Twitter page where Bucho does his thing, and the Discord page. The Discord page is like the chat room, but without a show. It's 24/7. You get to hang around with a lot of cool people. Alright, so listen, there's a lot to talk about. Thank you for joining us. Let's give a shout out to everybody in the chat room. We got SSB28, Trini Cervantes, Joe Lopez, John Gonzalez. Shout out to John Gonzalez, Shepherd of the Bay Boxing, that's aka Bay Area. Nes Mendoza, Endgame, Maxipad, Nick Yusupidi, Nes Mendoza, Lobito in the chat room as well. That's Gonzalo. SAS is in there as well. There's another NSS Mendoza and ZZ Mendoza. Virtuoso, shout out to Virtuoso. Hawker Mustang is in there as well. Sin Amasia, Speak Your Mind Sports Talk. The aforementioned Sean Newton. Already people are trying to go at him for his own videos. Check out Sean Newton's channel. It's always good to play while you're working on stuff. Makes the time pass by. Shout out to the Punisher as well. Hand History Vault. And many more to come, I'm sure. Thank you for joining us for this late night ultra comfy stream. We're just going to surf the web. Maybe take a couple of phone calls. I'm not sure, depending on how this goes and how much material we have. I'm going to be calling Revolucion just to see if he's up for this. And there we go. Revolucion, are you there? Revolucion? Or Revolution, I should say.
Yo!
Yeah,
Yo, what's up?
All right, thank you for joining me on this, or joining us, the whole BDA family, on this ultra comfy edition of a BDA late night podcast.
Comfy cozy, get next to the fire.
Exactly, that's what I was trying to tell people. You got to get that hot cocoa, that tea.
Yeah, the cocoa, exactly. Might have to
Never.
get up and make some tea in a minute. Still a little congested. I was sick all weekend.
Oh boy.
I want to say too, I was on yesterday? I think yesterday's show. Nobody wished me to, say feel better. They knew I was sick.
Nobody's going to do it either on this one, but I'll go ahead and say it. Get well. You need to get some you need to get yourself some vitamin C and some bioflavonoids. That's what you need.
A flavonoid.
That's right. Can't go wrong with bioflavonoids. Now listen, we got a lot to talk about. We're just going to be surfing the internet because, and this is the perfect show to do this, Revolucion, because there weren't any big fights last night, at least not any mega fights, unless you count the whole, what's his name, KSI versus Paul Logan. Is it Paul Logan or Gene Logan?
Paul.
Okay, Paul. I don't know why I pulled Gene out of my ass, but hold on a second. We got a super chat incoming from
Oh
Chris
boy.
K. And he says, Logan Paul and KSI ran Usyk out of the cruiserweight division. Wait, were these guys cruiserweights?
Yeah. I mean, dude, like I'm a cruiserweight. I'm not in shape. I'm just like an average dude, walking around. Average dudes right around 200 pounds.
That's right.
So that's cruiserweight. I mean, and they probably worked out a little bit, put on a little muscle, cut a little fat, so fluctuated. But I say that's what the average guy walks around at. I'm
Well,
Scott.
the average-
Either heavyweight or cruiserweight.
Right, the average American, you want to say. But by the way, shout out to Chris K, that aka Undercover Asian, for his contribution. Really continuing to make. Hey, listen, it's your contributions that have allowed Bucho to travel to Saudi Arabia. He's sorting the details out. He's gonna be getting there in a couple of weeks. He's making the preparations. He's getting his shots, his vaccines, to make sure everything's on the up and up. And he'll be there broadcasting live from Saudi Arabia. So it's pretty good to have contacts. Let me tell you that much right now. But anyway, look, I didn't even watch the KSI Paul Logan, because I mean, how much are we really going to say about that? So I did watch the Billy Joe
Saunders.
Saunders.
A few things.
No,
There were a few takeaways.
come on, really? I mean, it was a circus fight.
Well, it was a circus fight. And look, let me just get a few points off on it.
Go ahead.
Because everybody yesterday is being all negative about, it's going to be fucking horrible for boxing. My viewpoint is, what harm could it really do? If you're a fucking hardcore fan, you're not going to be, you don't have to watch it. Just change the channel or don't tune in. It's not going to drive people away from boxing like Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao did. That was a bad fight. People tuned in. That drew a lot of people. People were like, this is going to be a classic for the ages. It was a fucking letdown, and that hurt the sport. This is a little freak show, but I didn't take into consideration. We got all these new eyes on the sport. What could possibly go wrong? Well, a little bit of Jack Reese fuckery. Always stepping in, making all these wacky calls. He at one point, who was it?
The black dude.
Logan Paul. Yeah, Logan Paul knocked KSI down, right?
Uh-huh.
But he hit him. He hit him behind the head, and then he hit him after he went down. So Jack Reese, he gets super involved. He loves getting super involved with making these crazy calls. So he sorts it all out. He gives KSI the 5 minutes. He says, okay, we're going to count the knockdown, but then take 2 points from him for hitting behind the head. So he's got to make it complicated. He just made the fight shitty to watch. So
right.
I hope the new fans didn't look at it and be like, oh, this is what boxing's all about, all like bullshit calls.
By the way, was Jack Reese a police officer in another lifetime?
I don't know, man.
He kind of gives off the police officer vibes. I don't know why.
He called Logan Paul dude. So he said, dude, you can't be hitting him behind the head. He's trying to be cool, He's like the teacher who comes into class. He turns the chair around, sits up. All right, we're gonna rap a little bit today, guys.
Yeah, he puts the cap. Yeah, he puts the cap backwards. Backwards.
Let's talk about smoking pot, okay?
And meanwhile, this is what he says behind closed doors about the youngins.
Fucking quiz!
Anyway, listen. Yeah, Jack Reese. So he screwed up, but you know what, Revolucion, you got a good point about. People tend to make too much about these circus fights. Remember when, Mayweather, Conor McGregor, everybody was talking about how it was a shit fight, it was a circus, it was going to ruin boxing, myself included. I got dragged into a little bit into that mentality, and then afterwards, as the fight grew closer, I started thinking, well, wait a minute, what harm could it do? I mean, okay, people want to pay for it, they'll pay for it. It's like shit movies too. Those wacky Marvel movies. Hey, people want to watch them no matter, there might be some good ones, there might be some bad ones. So what? It's the people get to decide the market.
Dude, I live my life oblivious to like 90% of what's going on in mainstream culture. Like, for years and years, I just have not gave a fuck about anything that's come out mainstream.
All right, so there you have it. Revolucion is admitting that he is a hipster.
Yeah, I'm a hipster, sure. But the Mayweather-McGregor thing was kind of weird because that was blurring the line between, you had two real athletes, but it was a circus fight. So that's getting a little weird.
And you know what?
This was just pure entertainment. Look, one more quick point. The fucking post-fight interview had so much entertainment value to it. That was the best part of the whole night.
Bucho told me the
They had
fight.
a whole thing. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, Bucho watched the fight and he told me it wasn't half bad.
Yeah, it was a sloppy little scrap. It's like a street fight, man.
Well, there you
Between
go.
two YouTubers, in the whole the whole interview at the end was great because then they were like, "Do you respect each other?" And KSI at first he's like, "No, I don't." And then like you could see, it was like wrestling, man. He was like sitting, he thought about it for a second. He said, he put the hand out, and they shook hands, and the crowd went crazy. Like it was a movie, man. It was like the entertainment value was crazy.
Too bad it didn't turn into a porn movie.
Yeah, they should have kissed right at the end, and then
That's
Ryan
right.
Garcia could have got in the middle of them.
Yeah, should have made out a little bit, taking their trunks off.
Yeah.
Anyway, listen, this ain't the Ryan Garcia hour. Let's just go to the chat room real quick, see what people are saying. Chris Gonzalez says Logan Paul reminds me of the bad guy in Cobra Kai. Yeah, he kind of looks like him, doesn't he? Shepherd the Sun says, not Shepherd the Suns. Bay Area says Golovkin whooped Canelo in the second fight. Oh, so she said meeting that now? What's going on? MaxiPad trying to get. See, Sean Newton's in the chat, and every time he comes in to say hello, people right away jump on him. They can't handle a guy having an opinion. Come on, guys. Let's be nice to each other over here. Hawker Mustang says, I'm just going to make Devin Haney my number 1 pound-for-pound fighter so nobody can call me racist. Canelo won the second. Okay. Cine Messiah says, Haney is a welterweight or maybe a super welterweight. He only makes weight because of Victor Conte's chemicals. Nick Yusupidi says, don't know where these YouTubers are, but boxing doesn't need their fans. I saw the crowd for the KSI fight. A bunch of weirdos. Huh. Well, I don't know.
Yeah.
Hey, by the
90%,
way,
if 90% are weirdos, then the 10% good ones, fuck it. You know?
hey, okay, so this Paul Logan guy and KSI, are they video gamers? You know, those type of guys that play video games?
I have no idea who they are.
All right.
I think they do video games and like pranks and shit. Like just whack young people stuff, dude.
Chris Gonzalez says Logan hit a man when he was down, just like an LAPD cop. I mean, come on.
Oh my God! Everybody who watched this shit last night, they had a float fight because they had a little time to fill. They had I don't even fucking remember the guy. The White Chocolate Abibi and this fucking 36-year-old dude from Dominican Republic.
Mm-hmm.
It looked like a bizarro KSI Paul Logan.
No kidding.
He was just this white boy with like the shaggy blonde hair, and then this like dark skinned dude, and that was a crazy fight, man. Because the dude got knocked. One of the dudes got knocked down. Then he got knocked down again, but he got hit in the back of the head. So he starts rolling around. Oh, disqualify him. And the referee just didn't have any of it. So then they kept fighting. The bell rang. Fucking dude who got knocked down, he went insane. Went berserk. Just started throwing crazy punches after the bell. Mm-hmm. And the referee disqualified him. It was a total shit fest.
Well, you know what? The good thing about this fight. And by the way, I hear an echo from your end. I don't know do you have your speakers on?
No, I don't. Maybe my speakers on my headphones are a little loud. Hang on one sec. I'll just.
You're right. Okay. Also, what I was going to say is that it's good that compared to Mayweather-McGregor, which had an awful undercard. I mean, I think that was the event where Tank Davis stunk up the joint. This one was not a one-off pay-per-view event. This was something that came along with if you pay with the zone. If you paid for the zone, if you get a subscription, you got to catch this fight. So there's no complaining about I had to shell out $80-$90 to watch this piece of crap. You know what I mean? So there's a plus there. So what I wanted to talk about was because we had Devin Haney fight, we had Billy Joe Saunders fight also on the undercard, and we also had Jamel Herring taking on Lamont Roach over at ESPN. Oh, and let's get Pulev out of the way. Pulev fought a guy. Pulev, everybody's favorite sexual harasser, molester, whatever you want to call him. He fought a guy, Rydell Booker. Now, Revolucion. When I heard the name Rydell Booker, I said, this name sounds familiar. But he couldn't be. And I thought, no, it can't be that Rydell Booker. It
does sound a little bit familiar. Who is it?
Well, I'm going to tell you. I said, when I heard the name, I said, it can't be him. Can't be him. So I went over to old trusty BoxRec, and wouldn't you know it, it was Rydell Booker. Now, how do I know who Rydell Booker is? Because I remember him fighting James Toney back in 2004. And that was a fight
Oh,
where James Toney actually dislocated his arm. Not like Devin Haney, who's faking it, but we'll get to that. He actually dislocated or he hurt his elbow. No, his bicep, sorry. He tore his bicep and he beat up Rydell Booker one-handed. So now we got Booker coming back. He took a 12-year or 8-year hiatus, I think, and only recently came back. He showed up looking like one of those guys from that TLC show where they try to get them to lose weight. I mean, this guy had rolls upon rolls of fat. And, okay, props to him. He did his best against Pulev. Pulev didn't look too hot either. I think, I'm sorry to say, Revolucion, but I think Pulev so far has been better at sexual harassment than he is at boxing.
yeah.
38 years old, by the way.
He's never had a championship, a major world title. But he's
I-
gotten a beef over a fucking sexual harassment, so he's certified there.
And by the way, I keep saying sexual harassment. Let's face the facts. What he did was nowhere near sexual harassment. It was
Not at
that.
all. Come on, a little smooch. Jesus Christ. Over and where he comes from, you just go to a nightclub, you grab a bitch by the hair, and you just drag her to a taxi
Nah,
cab.
but see, what you're doing is you're making it sound as you're being sarcastic, and people are gonna think, oh, he actually did that. No, listen, that slant-eyed cunt lied about having been harassed, and she blew it all out of proportion. She should be barred from journalism. She has no right to do that anymore if she's gonna come out with these unfounded accusations. But let's get back to the boxing before YouTube shuts us down. He didn't look all that hot, and you know what? I started thinking, why do people keep mentioning Pulev? Oh, Pulev should do this. Pulev, Wilder should fight Pulev. Joshua should fight Pulev. Tyson Fury should fight Pulev. Other than giving Vladimir Klitschko a tough fight a couple of years ago, what else has Pulev done, really?
Not shit. He gave Vladimir Klitschko a tough fight?
Yeah,
Getting knocked out in 5 rounds?
Well, he caught him with some shots, and he made it more entertaining than past Vladimir Klitschko fans had done.
Yeah, he still
I
got
forgot-
fucking flopped and flipped around on the fucking mat.
I forgot this guy beat Derek Chisora by split decision, and apparently he also beat Huey Fury. I don't remember that fight. I don't remember the Huey fight at all.
Huey Fury. Yeah, the fucking elephant man.
Oh, geez, yeah, I don't know what's wrong with that dude. But anyway, so that's the Pulev thing. All right, let's get to should we get to Devin Haney first, or
Devin Haney. Yeah,
Haney?
let's get
Haney.
to it.
Listen, we also had. Let's get to because this one, it's nobody is going to want to talk here about this one too much. But Lamont Roach and Jamel Herring tangled on ESPN. Yeah, I can hear some echo, man. I don't know what's going on from. Hold on a second.
Fuck.
Hold on. Let me straighten this out. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. No, okay. I don't hear shit. Okay.
Yeah, I
So
think
yeah.
it's just the volume on my headphones. Like if I put it too loud,
Oh,
it echoes. My ears are shot, so
yeah.
I
You
tend to
can.
crank them up.
Too many concerts, huh?
Yes.
All right. So Jamel Herring beat Lamont Roach, and other than a dangerous 11th round where he got caught with the right hand, Jamel Herring came out undefeated. Now, Jamel Herring is a veteran, and here at BDA Boxing, we are a pro-veteran organization. We're not pro-war. Let's just make that clear right away.
Oh, no.
Unless we got some stock on some of those private contractors, those, and then those people that rebuild
Blackwater
and
and
security. Then all of a sudden, we're a little bit more pro-war. But when we don't have any stock on it, no way, we are not pro-war. That being said,
Yeah.
Jamel Herring, the fighting Marine, as he's called, who suffered from PTSD, just defended one of his titles. I don't know which one, because I don't follow titles, but it was a pretty good fight. He's a good southpaw. There you see him. He took a picture with Lamont Roach, and they put up on Instagram, no hard feelings. And he says that his fight, he doesn't really give himself the highest rating, but he said, I got the job done, I survived. This guy is good, man. This guy is good.
Dude. And you know what? Yeah, like if we're boxing fans, we respect warriors. So you got to respect hearing like at least 5 times as much. For going across seas and shooting the motherfuckers.
Exactly, yeah. And he also beat
And Gonzalo too.
Gonzalo,
And,
absolutely.
fucking Gypsy, Gypsy got to tell me a few war stories, man. If he was a fucking cook, I ain't gonna give him.
Yeah. Well, maybe he
Gypsy
was.
And G Boogie, I think too.
Well,
All that.
maybe. Hold on a second. Maybe he
Thanks
was
for
a
your service, boys.
maybe he was a cook, but he got put. Maybe he was a badass in the field, and he disobeyed some orders, and he got sent to the kitchen, like Steven Seagal in Under Siege. Maybe that's what happened. I don't know. I'm not
Oh
gonna
my God, Steven Seagal's the biggest badass in real life.
absolute. Well, I mean, when you say biggest, you're talking literally. Um, I'm looking at. I'm surprised that Jamel Herring. He's a 130 pounder, I believe, right? Not a
Yeah.
yeah. Well, yeah,
Okay.
100. Yeah, 130 pounds. And look, he beat a very tough Masayuki Ito, and he looked good in that one. And now he beat Lamont Roach, who I believe was rated in the top 10 not that long ago. Maybe I'm wrong. So it was a pretty good fight. Jamel Herring now is rated number 5 by Ring Magazine, Ring TV, whatever you want to call it. I gotta tell you, though, Revolucion, I don't know how he would fare against Andrew Cancio because Herring was eating. I mean, Ito wasn't going to the body all that much, and Cancio, who will be fighting later on this year before the year's over, um, he's just a come forward machine who
Yeah.
goes to the body. I don't know who's better or who's more fierce, Cancio or Berchelt, but nevertheless, I would not want to step into the ring with that fella. What do you think? Have you seen Jamel Herring, and what do you think about him?
He looked good against Ito. That was the first time I saw him, to be honest. And I'm thinking of it. I think didn't Ito come out with the little gavel, little judge hammer?
I think, yeah, I think so. I think so.
He did. Is that a fucking Judge Ito pun?
Wait a
Like,
minute, wait
I
a minute.
just realized that now, like months later. Like
Wait,
the hammer came into my mind. And wait,
Uh,
Judge Ito?
are you serious? Did he actually come out with a hammer at one point?
I think he did for that fight. He came out with a
Or did you say
the
that?
gavel, not
Did you,
like a hammer, the gavel.
did you say, or did you just make that up to insert that joke in there?
Make a Judge Ito joke, and then I remembered that it was it actually was the case.
All right, you know what? We're gonna get to the bottom of this
I'm
because
gonna
now,
try to find it.
yeah,
Don't you
we're gonna
worry,
get. Hold on. What's his guy's Masayuki Ito? All right,
Masayuki Ito. I'm looking.
me too, man, because I want to get to the bottom of this. It's no joking matter. It's what people would call in the paranormal field a high
Boom! I'm
strength.
looking. You just Google search his name and Judge, and you'll see him holding a hammer. Third picture.
All right, are you talking about on Google or? Yeah, there we go. Masayuki
Hey,
Ito
boom, I'll
returns
post
to
it
win.
in the chat for you. There, I just posted the link.
Oh yeah, well I found it. I'm putting it up on the screen. Now we got to do some research on this. Does this fella have a law degree? Because I know I found out before the fight that Alexander Gvozdyk apparently has some sort of form of law degree. Maybe it's the same thing with this fella.
Well, with the nickname, you think Alexander Vozdik would be a carpenter?
Hold on a second. Like, we're gonna go Wikipedia. Nope, nothing that says anything about him. So yeah, okay. So either he did go to law school and he's trying to play up that angle, or they're going with a Judge Ito
Judge
pun,
Ito.
which is like about 25 years too late.
But
mean,
it's
that's
not
insane.
past boxing.
yeah.
Boxing would make that joke.
Yeah, boxing tends to be a little bit behind the times, so
Do
it
you
would
know
not
who
surprise me.
Ika Beabuchi was named after? The president? That
Which
was a fucking Dwight Eisenhower reference.
Nah, get the fuck out of here. I thought it was Bill Clinton.
Yeah.
I thought it was Bill Clinton because because they both have proclivities of going after women and all that. That's what I thought. Maybe listen, maybe I'm wrong.
He was
real-
training when Bush Sr. was in.
yeah.
Okay,
I
go ahead.
wanted to say something about last note on Jamel Herring because again, and it's the sad truth about I was gonna use the S word about elusive southpaws. They don't get a lot of love in the game. Nobody really wants to see them, and this was a good competitive fight on paper. Good little fight on ESPN. Didn't get the attention it deserved because they're not exactly big names, and then you had those YouTubers going at it on the zone. But that being said, Revolution, this division, 130 pounds, they're little guys. But that being said, there's not a lot of room for these guys. We want to start seeing the best fighting the best. And the best way I see it right now, the best step that we can do is have Jamel Herring take on Tevin Farmer. The loser gets out of the division because this division is too small for two slick southpaws. All right? What do you think about that idea?
I like that. I like that, but do you want to really put the two slick southpaws against one another, or have them take on two different matches and the loser got to leave? Like,
No. It's got to be
you
each
get two
other.
southpaws. Okay, I like that logic. You got two southpaws in there. They got to have their own little battle. So when you got
Exactly.
two southpaws in there, it's basically an orthodox fight. Yeah, fuck
Exactly.
it.
Yeah.
I like
Exactly.
it.
It's an orthodox fight because they're both southpaws, and we'll see who the better, more boring, more elusive southpaw is, and then they can leave, and then one of them can go to 126, 140, whatever. I mean 135, make their own way, and one of them gets to stay and gets to fight either Gervonta Davis, Andrew Cancio, maybe Jojo Diaz Jr. Who else is there? The aforementioned Ito, and of course the guy that I think is going to be a problem for anybody, whether it's lightweight or super featherweight. That is Miguel Berchelt. Oh boy, this fella is a problem for anybody. So that was,
Yeah, he rolled right over fucking Jason Sosa.
yeah. He murdered him, really murdered him. Now I want to real quick. Let's get to this. Devin Haney was able to come up with a unanimous decision win on the what's it called? A KSI versus Paul Logan fight on the zone. He retains apparently he's the WBC lightweight champion. I didn't even know if it was a WBC IBF. I still don't care. But he won that fight against Alfredo Santiago from the Dominican Republic. I know Recognize the Matrix probably was rooting against him, but be that as it may, Devin Haney's had some problems in the sense that he couldn't land as cleanly as he wanted to, as often as he wanted to. He did drop Santiago, I believe it was in the 6th round, with a beautiful counter right hand. But after that, Revolucion, okay, let's talk about the good things. You know that's how the way we do it here at BDA Boxing. We always got to give fighters their credit. Can you tell me, what do you like about Devin Haney? What did you like about him last night?
What did I like about him last night? Well, he had an excellent physique.
Oh, come on.
Start with that.
What are we waiting for? Come on, let's go!
Yeah, he showed like pretty good power against a guy who wasn't really anything.
Right.
I swear to God, I wasn't that impressed overall. Like, other than, he could throw that big old chopping overhand that's pretty wild and is going to get countered. But yeah, dude, this Santiago guy was giving him trouble early. It's just he can't hit. He's got like a 50% knockout ratio. And Devin Haney didn't knock his ass out. He should have. He should have.
But why,
it was
though?
the same as when he fought this African dude, Ndongeni. Zolazeni Ndongeni or some shit like that.
Yeah.
Same thing. This big wiry kid. Haney couldn't really get to him. Rocked him, wobbled him. But just underperformed, I felt like. And he gets the belt, and Sergio Mora giving him head on the air. He put himself in the right place he deserved the belt. He's like, dude, fuck off. It got to the point that who was his name? Brandon Maddox, Chris Mannix, whatever. He was like, hey, when are you fighting Peter Manfredo again?
Oh,
he brought up Manfredo. I was like,
wow. My goodness gracious.
I mean, is this guy something or is he something?
Yeah, that he's putting him on the spot there, right on the air. Yeah. But it's true. I mean, look, listen, but hold on. Here's the thing, though. When you say Devin Haney underperformed, I'll tell you why I wasn't all that disappointed, because I was never riding his dick like a lot of these LDBC people were, because let's face the facts. He's 20 years old. He's never fought anybody. These people that were trying to make a big deal out of him, or of Lomachenko dropping one belt and getting the franchise belt or whatever the hell it was, and you see, Lomachenko don't want that smoke. Yo. Well, now it turns out Devin Haney, 20 years old, still very green. He hasn't beaten anybody yet of any note. But I will give him his credit, because again, I wasn't all that high on him, but I liked what I saw. He's pretty quick. He's got good reflexes. He seems to know what he's doing defensively. He reminded me a lot of an old Bernard Hopkins with that defense. He's not trying to over-emulate Floyd Mayweather. He's trying to come into his own with his own thing. He does pop a little bit, and I like what I saw. And let's not forget, he's 20 years old. Okay? So those people that were saying, though, that Lomachenko's afraid of him. I think even they know that that's a ridiculous claim, but they just say it because they got nothing much more to say in regards to boxing. They always got to go for the drama. That being said, I will say this about Haney. What I don't like is he came up with the excuse. And he said that well, actually, his fans are repeating that excuse as well. That he dislocated his shoulder. Okay, that's what they're saying.
Mhm.
But if you look at the article, what he said exactly was, hold on, I'm looking at the quote here. I had it a couple of minutes ago before the show, but he said, I feel, he says he threw a punch and he felt like he dislocated his shoulder. He said, there was something wrong with my shoulder, but I felt like I dislocated it. So there's no confirmation that he did indeed dislocate his shoulder. Revolucion, this sounds to me like a guy who knew he didn't look all that great, and he's coming up with excuses now. What do you think?
I mean, we're not inside the guy's body, so we can't really be 100%. But yeah, it sounds like a little bit of an excuse.
What is it with you today and all these homosexual puns?
I didn't even. Wow, that
You
was
made a
Freudian
pun.
slip.
You said
Got it.
we're not inside, and then you took a pause and a deep breath inside his body. I say, all right, Revolucion, you gotta. We can play it back
Fuck,
if you
man.
want. We can play it back if
Fuck,
you
you're
want.
calling me out, dude.
I am
Ah,
calling you out.
I gotta
I'm
call my
calling you out.
girl, man. I gotta let her know about this.
It's about time. No, but seriously, I'm looking for the quote here. He says, he says that the other guy, the Dominican guy was just trying to survive, which is true in a sense. I mean, especially after the knockdown, he just seemed a little bit shell shocked, and he still let his
Yeah.
hands go, but nevertheless, it was too much for him. Devin Haney's got some good reflexes. He's got some good instincts. But again, he's far from ready for Lomachenko. It's interesting. Every time somebody undefeated comes up and wins a title, all of a sudden, Lomachenko scares them. And then in their very next fight, they end up struggling or looking bad.
Mm,
And
exactly.
here's the other thing. Sina Messias says that he was impressed with his nostril feints. I mean, come on, you're gonna go after a guy because his nose is weird looking? Come on. Let's not go there. All right. You know better than that, guys. Don't make me shut this stream down. All right. But and then Revolucion, I did the mistake of going over to boxing scene, that cesspool where you can only find one good comment amidst 5 awful ones. Right away, it got racial. That's the BDA
Of
rule.
course.
The BDA rule. How much time, or the BDA game rather, we go on boxing scene, we surf any one thread, and we wait to see, or bet rather, the over under, how long it's going to take to find something that's going to make the thread racial. And this one took under 2 minutes, I believe. But here's what people are saying about him. I know Devin Haney is 20 years old, but a lot of critics hyped him up to be the next Mayweather. Haney demonstrated in this fight with Santiago that he is just a puncher who loads up, poor boxing skills, predictable with the same 1-2s with power, and doesn't know how to fight on the inside. Revolucion, I gotta tell you, I hate, and maybe you've heard me say this before, I hate when fighters get compared to another contemporary or a past fighter, and they say, he's the next this, he's the next De La Hoya, he's the next Mayweather, he's the
And it's
next
always
Bernard
the same
Hopkins.
race, too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's a good point.
You know, if he was white, you'd be like, oh, the next Kelly Pavlik.
That next Kelly Pavlik.
You know, motherfucking. Well, no need to do near probably when he came. Oh, the next Manny Pacquiao. They don't fight
Yeah.
alike.
Well, that's what they always do that with Asian fighters. Anytime an Asian fighter with big calves comes along, he's the next
I
Pacquiao.
knew he's the next Pacquiao.
Yeah, he
He's
doesn't
a
even have
fucking
the
haymaker throwing machine.
he doesn't even have the calves to back it up. That's ridiculous. And I do agree with this poster when he says he did load up a little bit too much with that right hand. And the other thing was the lack of inside fighting. There was a lot of clinching. A lot of clinching
A
from
lot of
both
clinching,
fighters.
a lot of wrestling. Haney was getting a little bit rough. He was looking kind of frustrated at times, throwing some low blows. So I think Santiago. Well, one thing that happened was they said that Santiago refused to tell in the interview what his strategy was. It's like, oh, I'm going to be very secretive about this. I think I see something. And I think he just had the plan to come in and make it a dirty fight at some point.
Well, you know what?
He
Also,
responded to that and fucking tossed him around a little.
you know what? Also, to Haney's credit, though, on that point, apparently this guy came on 1 week's notice. I mean, no, sorry. He was already training, I believe, but Haney didn't know who he was going to fight. That's what he's saying.
Yeah.
So, I mean, hey, listen, it's one of these fights where you got to figure it out as you go along. Like I said, I am not going to be that hard on Haney for this fight. He's 20 years old. He did what he had to do. He won rounds. But again, just when the only criticism I will have is for his fans who kept saying that Lomachenko was ducking him. Guys, I hope now you realize. And by the way, we're going to be taking some phone calls. Why not? I'm going to open up the phone calls.
Yeah,
The
go
phone
ahead.
lines.
You know what?
And-
Real quick, one more thing on Haney. I don't want to hear the fucking, oh, he's only 20. You know, SSB 28 says too, the Haney is only 20. People need to chill out. Yeah, it don't matter what age you are. If you're doing something bad, you're doing something bad. And we can't lay out.
I think, yeah. Yeah, you're cutting off a little bit. I think it's because I'm opening up the phone
1 2
calls.
1 2. Can you hear me?
Now I can hear you, yeah.
Loud and clear. Word. Yeah. He's only 20. So what? There you go. That's what I'm saying.
But I mean, it's like we go back to the Teofimo Lopez thing, another undefeated fighter who people were saying was, that Lomachenko was dogging him apparently, and then he looked bad against a Japanese fighter, and all of a sudden it's like, whoops, now let's hop on the Devin Haney train and say that Lomachenko was dogging him. But like, and people were saying the same thing. People were saying the same thing, saying, okay, now you can't pull out the young excuse, the youth excuse, because he was calling Lomachenko out and saying he was going to do this and he was going to do that. So if Haney did the same thing, and by the way, people, the phone lines are open. I'm going to put the phone number up in the description. You tell us, what did you think about Devin Haney? Those of you who believe that Lomachenko is ducking him, do you still feel that way? Or let us know what Haney has to do to correct, or what he has to correct in order to become the pound-for-pound fighter that most are expecting him to be. So there you go. Numbers up right there in the description. Phone lines are open. We'll see if anybody calls in. But you know what? Meanwhile,
I'll be right back. Hold on one second. I'll be right back.
All right. Let's go back to boxing scene because there were some decent comments, also some funny comments. It's funny from the point of view of the vitriol that is involved in those comments. But hold on a second. So somebody goes, I heard so much about him as the next Mayweather. He was fighting a cherry pick rated 31st in the world by BoxRec. But again, guys, those BoxRec ratings are not the official sanctioning bodies ratings. And even though I despise the sanctioning bodies, they are the ones who decide who are the mandatory. So BoxRec has nothing to do with that, I believe. And then he says, I think he's very much overrated and Tank and Loma beat him easily. I will agree about the Loma and maybe even Tank Davis. But then this guy goes, I think Ryan Garcia could probably beat him too. Ryan Garcia, a lot of people are being, listen, he knocked this dude out. What was it? The second round in his last fight. But don't get too impressed by knockouts. We don't really know how Ryan Garcia is going to react to adversity. He already had a hard fight last year, I believe, last summer. A lot of clinching. His head was up in the air. He's training with the Reynosos. Maybe they'll try to get him to fight a little bit more like Canelo, more head movement. So we'll see what happens. This guy goes, yeah, I didn't see anything special either. This guy is blaming Haney's opponent for the clinching. He just went 12 rounds with an Uber driver. Does Santiago really have a 0-1 amateur record? No, that's BS apparently. And Haney looked like crap, telegraphing his shots, no real power in his punches. He's still young, though he needs to get with an offensive-minded trainer. Hold on a second. We already have a phone call. Let's go to that phone call. 8484, you're on the air.
Yo, what's up, boys?
Oh, is this Jackson?
Yes, it is.
All right. How you doing, man?
Doing?
Good. Thank you for calling in, man. What do you want to talk about?
I want to say a couple things about Devin Haney. Who was in his corner? Was a senior in his corner?
You know what? I didn't check. Maybe somebody in the chat room can...
Or was it McCallum?
Mike McCallum was in his corner?
He used to be in a couple of his earlier fights.
Or is it a guy that looks like Mike McCallum? Because, there's a lot of overweight black guys running around in Las Vegas. Maybe it was him.
Who are we talking about? I'm sorry, I just got back. Who are we talking about?
Say that.
He's asking who was in Devin Haney's corner last night.
It was his father.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, people in the chat room are saying the same thing.
Oh,
So we
that
got
dumb
confirmation.
fuck. When Mayweather is in his corner, he actually fights really, really well. I mean, let's not write Devin Haney off. The guy can box. This is the problem with Devin Haney. When he sees like a weakness in his opponent, opponent, he just fucking throws that overhand right. He throws it over and over to try to get a highlight reel knockout. And it's like, just stop. You look like a fucking idiot. Like, that's his thing. But when he boxes, uses that long reach, straight right, uppercuts, he's a problem. The guy he's a very good boxer. Like, let's not write him off.
That's what I said. I'm not writing Devin Haney off. It's just here's what's happening. Here's what's happening, Jackson. There's no in between. And I was reading right now before you called. I was reading the boxing scene comments, and there was one that hit the nail on the head of what I wanted to say. Let me just put up in the description. It's a real brief comment. I'm just going to read it to you, and you tell me what you think. This guy says he's young, talking about Devin Haney. He's still going to be a top guy in the sport for many years, but he shouldn't be a world champion, not yet. And the idea that Lomachenko is afraid of him is laughable. Problem is, though, on this side, either you're pound for pound number one or you're a bum. There is no in between. And I think that's what's happening right now. It's a lot of people who are either...
true.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah,
I mean,
I agree with that. Because think of it, Haney, yes, he's young, so he shouldn't be much of a threat. But he has that long reach, so he should be able to crack. Like, he should be able to chop that right hand like a young Tommy Hearns. So he should be able to get him out of here. But when I see him swing with that overhand right, he's fighting bums that are standing there for the punch, and he's like, yo, it's terrible. I like Shakur Stevenson better.
Did you just step away from the phone to scream while you were doing that?
Don't worry about it.
All right, I won't.
I was imitating. No, I'm in the mirror shadow box.
That's what I thought.
Like Haney.
That's what I thought. I said, this guy just stepped out of his off. This guy, I envisioned you actually throwing punches while you were talking. And I said, I know what's up. But what do you think Devin Haney has to do? Because again, a lot of people were overhyping him, and then some people were underrating him.
Sorry.
So my question is, where does he go from here?
All right, this is what he has to do. He has to get his man strength. He has to get that. What's he? 20 years old. He's got to get the roids. He's got to get the roids in him. He's got to go get that apple juice.
No.
Or what's it? V8. Yeah. He's got to get that juice now.
Well,
next, he's got to get his punch selection better. He's got a good jab. I mean, it's not like a Kovalev jab where he throws like 60 different ways, up jab, double jab, blinding jab. He throws a nice pumping jab like Senior told him. I don't know if you guys watched the Hopkins De La Hoya fight, but when Floyd Senior was like, throw that jab to his shoulder and watch what happens. Like that's how you defeat the shoulder roll. You pump the jab to the shoulder, and Haney knows all the tricks. He's well versed. He knows the old fighters like Charlie Burley. So I mean, this kid's gonna be. I mean, I watched a couple of Mayweather's old fights, and I don't think Mayweather was that much better than Haney. So.
The speed.
I think Garcia
different.
is the best.
Yeah, well, Mayweather was, like Revolucion said, the speed was something else, and Mayweather was a little bit more polished and more aggressive by the time he was stepping up. But Devin Haney, you hit the nail on the head. He has to get his max strength. Maybe we can call Dr. 805 and get him to get Haney a TRT prescription or something. But also, I can see Devin Haney maybe improving his infighting a little bit more, and at that point he could become a bit of an Andrew Ward fight. He could become an Andrew Ward type fighter where he's on the outside, he's hard to hit, and then when he's got you frustrated, he steps on the inside and mauls you there for a couple of rounds, and then he steps right back on the out. You know what I mean? Like that type of fighter.
Well,
No,
let
exactly.
me say this real
what
quick.
does he do?
What
Tie up on the inside?
Yeah, now he's
Go
just
on.
tying up.
Okay, I just want to just jump in. My observation, my biggest takeaway from the Haney fight last night was that I didn't see much of an improvement from the fight 3 fights ago when he fought this kid from Africa. So, like, he fought the kid from Africa. He knocked out, a couple of these whoever's. And then he's having another middling performance. Like, he's not making these big strides, I'm trying to look at, like, potential. I'm trying to think, how can I identify potential in this guy? And you got to look at performance to performance, how much he's improving. And obviously, you might see shades of Mayweather because he trains in that camp. But how far is he going to take that style?
But I got a question,
You
though.
can't just assume he's 20, so in 8 years he will do this much work.
I
Like,
understand
it's not a
that.
math equation,
I understand. Yeah, you're right. That's a good point. But what I'm asking is, why is it a middling performance? I mean, he won nearly every round. Was he supposed to stop this dude? I mean, he was a young, undefeated guy from the Dominican Republic, by the way. Those guys, they got nothing to do but swim all day because it's an island. They're pretty good shape.
BDA.
Yes.
Honestly, he should be stopping everybody he fights right now.
Yeah.
He's at that stage of his career where he should have I mean, maybe some 10-rounders, but if you're an elite fighter, like Lomachenko stopping everybody he's fighting, world champion, like, if you're a real great fighter, you're doing that. Like, I'm going to go Teddy Atlas. You're doing that. You know, we are fucking Lomachenko fighting a pro in our 3rd fight. That's how good we are. But Haney is not there.
I would agree. I will agree.
Do you guys agree?
Absolutely. And by the way, that's the thing most people don't understand is Lomachenko is special. This man has very good ring IQ. He's got hand speed, reflexes, the power. People don't understand how good.
Yeah.
And think about it. In his second pro fight, he took on a guy who was a former world champ, and he almost knocked him out, and almost stopped him in the last round. So, can you see Devin Haney doing that in his second fight? You know what I mean? It's like it's.
Well, Loma's a genius, and Haney is just gifted. He was taught by Mayweather Senior. I don't even know if he should fight out of that shoulder roll because I feel like it works if in certain situations. I feel like it's not a good tactic. Like, it works if you're James Toney and you can do both shoulders. James Toney used to be able to roll it, and Ezra Charles. They used to be able to roll it off both shoulders.
Mm-hmm.
And Devin Haney looks like shit doing it.
He's actually pretty. He didn't get. I mean, he got hit with pot shots when he wasn't expecting it. But when the guy was throwing combos, Devin Haney was pretty hard to hit. I found out.
Yeah, but when you got Loma straight left coming in there, I mean.
Oh yeah. Listen, Lomachenko fights him. Lomachenko runs through this dude. Here's the thing, and I found another comment from Boxing Scene that illustrates what I'm talking about here. Somebody says, hopefully, this is one of the things he will learn from this fight. He's talking about inside fighting. He needs to have a plan B, plan C, plan D, and E if needed. He needs to be able to adapt. He also needs to mix up his right hand. His use of it wasn't very good tonight, but his left hook was okay. He was loading up and hooking his right too much, and it was the same punch every time, following a Santiago move to his left. It was like his left hand was more mature than his right. I think that if Haney was a year or two more experienced, he would have been able to handle this fight a lot better.
I
So-
agree with
Great
that.
comment.
Yeah,
One
he
hand
needs
is
to
more
change
mature than
up
the other.
The
Wow.
speed of his punches. Go Revolution.
Yes.
He already said what he said. Like that was a good comment. But I mean, he needs to listen. Here's what makes Lomachenko so dangerous. Okay, it's not just the hand speed, what I mentioned. It's not just the power. It's the fact that you don't know where his shots are coming from and when they're coming from. He's feinting all the time. He's moving his head all the time. He's moving in and out all the time. It's nonstop movement. That stuff is one of the most confusing things to be able to encounter in there. And then on top of that, not only that, but he's fast with his attack and he hits pretty darn hard. That shell shocks a lot of guys, and that's why you see a lot of these guys quitting when they're in there with him because they've never seen anything like him. I mean, it's easy to say, I'm going to feint, I'm going to move, I'm going to do this, I'm going to change levels, but to be able to do it all at the same time, the way he does it, I got to tell you, it's amazing. And call me a dick rider or whatever, I just know boxing, and I see an immense talent when I see one. So,
Well,
listen,
BDA,
yes.
you made a video about this, and you said it was very interesting. It was about the Rigondeaux and Loma fight, and you said there's 3 things to attack. It has to be quick, violent, and you said there was
Surprise.
3 things.
Surprise.
And it's the same as like a terrorist attack. Like if you watch the movie when the plane went down in 9/11, they like slit the guy's throat, they shocked him, everybody was scared, then they just took over the plane. Quick, it was strategic, and you broke it down perfect. So once Loma started unloading, Rigondeaux was like, "Get me the fuck out of here," and
Right.
that was a beautiful breakdown.
Well, thank you. Thank
Do
you. I
you
appreciate
know
it.
which video I'm talking about?
Yeah, absolutely. I know which one it is. And it's one that should have more views than it has. But then again, that's just the way YouTube works sometimes. And by the way, just to illustrate what you meant by that, somebody, JJ in the chat room says, Loma overloads his opponents with decisions. That's the thing. It's overload. It's information overload. It's just too much. And I like the terrorist analogy that you put up there because it gives me a chance to play this.
It is like that.
Was that?
Well, no, but let me say, like, they slit the guy's throat, everybody's
come on.
scared, they take over the plane, nobody's moving, and you gotta watch the video. There were 3 things. It was like quick.
It was okay. I'll tell you what they
terrorizing.
were. I'll tell you what
All
it
right,
was. Yep.
Jihad Johnny. All right, nice talking to you.
Listen, before the FBI, before
Come on,
the
guys. I gotta fly in a couple of days.
Oh, there you go.
Relax.
Well, I think the FBI is going to have a little chat with you before they let you on board. But it was the 3 things were the element of surprise, the speed of the attack, and the violence, aka, or in other words, the strength or power, the force that you put into it. So all those things, they just screw you over, and that's why I tell people all the time: feint, and vary your attack.
When it's a surprise, you don't need to be the fastest, and you don't need to be the strongest.
Exactly.
That's a good point. I really like that.
Exactly.
I'll let somebody else jump on, guys.
All right.
But thanks for having me on.
Thank you for calling on this ultra comfy edition of the BDA Late Night Podcast, Jackson, and take care. And hopefully you're.
Yeah, this is some good shit.
All right. Yeah.
Stay toasty, man. Stay warm and stay toasty.
All right. Take it easy, man. That was Jackson. Revolucion, I get the feeling that that's what a lot of people are going to say in regards to Devin Haney, that he's too green. And now you said you're disappointed, but I mean, you weren't buying the hype that he was the next Mayweather, that Lomachenko was avoiding him. So why exactly are you disappointed with the performance?
Well, you know what? That's maybe the point. Like, maybe disappointed isn't the right word. It's the idea that he is getting hyped. It's like, I heard about Devin Haney. Hey, he's like a young fucking up and coming fighter. You got to watch him. All right. And I watched him. And I just like, I'm not like blown away with what I see. As in like what people are telling me. You know what I mean? He's not living up to what people are telling me. In that sense, it's letting me down.
That's
overall,
fair.
He's a good fighter. Like, all right, yeah. Like, won't take anything away from him. But I don't see much ceiling. You know, I don't think he's going to go that high up, because one thing they were talking about in this pre-fight interview, they're talking about Devin Haney doing the little vignette, talking about his whole life. Now, how he got into boxing, I guess, was he was like 5-6 years old, and he was like getting in fights at school. So his father, like, to teach him a lesson, was like, okay, if you get in fights at school or whatever, I'm gonna bring you to the boxing gym, and you're gonna like spar and get your ass beat. So
that old story. Yeah, that old story.
So the point is, like, you know, Haney's been fighting since he was 6. He's been doing this for a long time. So maybe he's already lived out his whole boxing career. Like, he's already, what we see now might be the best he's ever going to be. Because he's been doing it since he was young. Like, he's had all this experience.
Well, you know what? That's a great transition to a comment that I read on Ring TV. and they're talking about Devin Haney, and this man brings the history to his post. And by the way, well, I'll post it later, but let's go to the comment here. This guy goes, Everett T. Root. Everett T. Root. That sounds like the name of some president from the 1800s. Anyway, he says the difference between, because somebody said that Devin Haney is young, he's got a lot of, his ceiling is very high. But this fella says the difference is that Ray Mancini had a litmus test against the rugged Jose Luis Ramirez, who dropped Alexis Arguello. I don't remember Ramirez dropping Arguello, but anyway, and gave him all he could handle in losing a split decision. I think he's mixing Arguello up with Rosario. But anyway, Devin Haney hasn't had that kind of test. The jury's still out on him. The eye test can only tell one so much. Case in point, Eddie Hobson. Hobson was an undefeated superfast southpaw with talent to spare, it seemed. And going by the eye test, he screamed superstar with a capital S, just like Haney. He got a portion of a title, in this case the IBF super featherweight title, without facing a top-shelf opponent, though he did win a decision against the ultra-tough Troy Dorsey. As soon as he stepped up against a proven opponent in Tracy Harris Patterson, he was blown out in 2. He never contended again. He says there's also Jose the Threat Barrett, who stepped up against Marlon Starling, another good fighter, and failed miserably. Add to the fold KO artist Tyrone the Harlem Butcher Jackson, who looked utterly helpless against IBF super featherweight champ Tony the Tiger Lopez. And these are just a few examples. The eye test can only go so far. But I agree with this guy. I mean,
Yeah.
At some point, yeah, go ahead.
And to say litmus test is a great point because, like, when you think about what that means, a litmus test, we're trying to see the difference between blood and fucking red paint. You know what I mean? Or like,
right.
Like if I got a stain on my shirt, it could be red wine or it could be blood. How do you know? You got to fucking line it up to a litmus test. There's only one way. Like you got to stack him up against somebody who's going to really prove his shit.
Exactly.
Right now, just on the eye test, you could look at it and it looks like this, but at the molecular level, it's not.
The molecular level, listen to you. But, I mean, it's true. I mean, the eye test can only tell you so much. At some point, the eye test has to be applied to when a guy fights somebody with a pulse. And he did fight somebody with a pulse last night, but it was again unproven fella himself. So it can only tell so much. Then again, it can go any one way. Remember Roy Jones when he fought Bernard Hopkins? Bernard Hopkins, only hardcore boxing fans knew who he was when they watched him on Tuesday night fights knocking people out. But most people didn't know who he was. And when Roy Jones didn't look as impressive as he had against other people, all of a sudden people were saying, well, the fight was boring, Roy Jones ain't that great. People were comparing him to Sugar Ray Leonard at that time. And they said, nah, he's no Sugar Ray Leonard. And then look at what he went on to do, and look at what Bernard Hopkins went on to do. So maybe I'm reaching here, but you never know. Maybe these guys go on to do great things, or maybe just half of what Hopkins and Roy Jones did, but that's pretty good itself. So maybe we are underrating both of them. But anyway, listen, who knows, right? Who knows?
Let me say this point too. I think, just in general in life, talk about gratification, right? You gotta have delayed gratification in your life, meaning you gotta work for shit before you could feel like you've achieved shit. Because if you feel like you've achieved shit too soon, you're not gonna work for it anymore.
That's true.
You hand Haney a belt, you give him all this hype. He's, he shouldn't be taking all this in right now. Like if he starts feeling like a superstar, he's gonna get lazy. And
That's
we've seen,
exactly.
like, look at probably like Naseem Hamed is probably a good example.
Yeah, he was a diva, and that maybe
he was a great fighter when he had to be hungry, you know. But once he started getting the fame, started getting the money, what did he have to fight for anymore, man?
But you know what though? I think he's got a clear head around him. I think he's gonna do great things. Did you see the size of his nostrils? That's a lot of oxygen for his brain. I think it allows him to make the best decisions possible. I bet you if they put us together and they make us do a test where we have to, they have to test our reaction time, whatever, this guy's gonna have the fastest reaction time, and it has nothing to do with his reflexes or his training. It's just because of those big ass nostrils. A lot of oxygen. Dude,
he's fucking Leonard Ellerby's bastard son.
He's gotta
Floyd
be.
Mayweather is the mother.
He's got to be. I mean, if you could throw a basketball in there, and it will get stuck in there. I mean,
Why's it got to be a basketball, BDA?
Well, I mean, okay. Well, I was gonna go with a. I
Slam
was gonna.
dunk.
I was gonna.
Oh, can't
Oh
be
boy,
stopped.
cannot. And by the way, fellas, don't forget to hit that like button, like Next Mendoza is saying in the chat room, and drop us a super chat if you want us to go to Saudi Arabia. And I mean, that's already set, but I mean, there's still.
Allahu Akbar. Oh, hold
All
up. I
right.
gotta pray real quick, man.
Yeah, you go ahead and do that.
Okay.
Jeez, what are you doing? He's on his knees.
I am. I did get down on my knees for some reason.
All right,
How'd
listen.
you know?
Last comment on this whole Devin Haney thing. Actually, not the last comment. Before the last, but last comment from boxing scene, I should say. I think we got to go with the other, the opposite point of view. This guy says,
Wait, you go ahead. Then, well, okay, yours is longer. Let me say Gonzalo's real quick. Gonzalo said Devin Haney knows boxing. Knows.
"Oh, come on, Gonzalo. I mean, no.
He took the low hanging fruit.
I expected better from Gonzalo. Actually, you know what? Before I continue with this comment, let's take a phone call. Somebody's calling us over here. Let's see who that is. I don't know who that is. I don't know you. 443, you're on the air. 443.
Yes, sir. It's my name is Troy, and I'm out of Baltimore.
Oh, Troy, thank you for calling in, man. What do you want to talk about?
Welcome aboard, Troy.
Yeah, this is my first time listening, and I don't know if I'm listening to bad stand-up comedy or people who want to talk boxing. You know, which one are you trying to do?
We're trying to do both. Bad comedy and boxing.
No, you here talking about people's nostrils and whatever else. Is this a boxing talk program, or is this bad comedy hour?
I just told you it's both. You need to clean your ears there, Troy.
Well, actually, I took a bath today, and I did just that, sir.
All right, fantastic. No. All right, enough with the passive aggressiveness.
Okay,
what do you want to talk about?
I was just trying to catch on, you know. So, what's the subject? You talking about Haney?
Wait a minute. You just said you were listening, and now you're asking us what the subject is. Yes, it's Devin Haney.
No. I actually just tuned in, and the bad comedy just kind of. You actually need a writer, which is.
With the passive aggressiveness. Just say what you want to. Hold on.
Caller. We just go off the top, man. So just. Yo, welcome aboard.
Tell
us what you think.
Listen. I understand your comedy, but I'm giving you sarcasm the same way that you give sarcasm, but you seem like you're not able to take it.
Hold on a second. I think I know what got to. Hold on. I think I know what got to you. It was a nostrils comment, right? It's a little joke, and don't tell me he doesn't have big ass nostrils. Come on, look at his nostrils. You want me to put the picture up on the screen?
Listen,
come on, and then the Leonard Ellerby father thing. Come on, that's.
I could take a joke just like anybody else. I'm just saying that maybe you need a writer, and you sound a lot like the brother who passed away, the great actor Ricardo Montalban.
Who, me?
Anybody ever tell you that?
I think he's talking about me.
Absolutely not you. Oh. The other brother. You.
The other brother. Yeah. Listen. Somebody said that I sound like Count Chocula. I think that's a better description.
No, you sound like Ricardo Montalban's character from Fantasy Island. Yes.
Oh yeah, Fantasy Island. That's a great.
Exactly what.
That's fantastic.
Yes, man,
listen, what do you think?
Really, I don't have anything productive to share, but if you ever need a writer to help you with your comedy, I'll
all right, with the passive aggressiveness. Troy, passive aggressiveness is a female trait. Let me just say that right now.
Passive aggressiveness. Okay, well, honestly, passive aggressiveness, I don't know where you're getting that from. I'm simply being sarcastic and witty, the same way you were attempting to be that.
But I wasn't being sarcastic. I wasn't being sarcastic about David Haney. He does have big ass nostrils.
Right, and I wasn't being sarcastic about the comedy itself.
We're taking the fucking low road. We're not saying this is highbrow comedy. This is.
But now I'm confused. He said he wasn't. Troy, you said you were being sarcastic, and then you go, no, I'm not being sarcastic. I'm being honest. I mean, I'm confused here. It's too late at night to follow your train of thought, Troy. Come on. Here's what I suggest. You're down there in Baltimore.
Honestly.
Yeah, honestly.
I'm actually falling asleep. That's why I'm speaking so slow. Because if I was wide awake, it'd probably be more fun. But you all have a good night, and you figure out what you need to do. And I wish you much suggest on your show and so forth.
All right, thank you, Troy.
Tighten it up a little bit,
Troy, are
gentlemen.
you good
Tighten
at
it up.
trivia?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Troy, hold on. Before you go,
Yes,
You
yeah,
good
I
at
am.
trivia? We do a boxing trivia show. If you ever
said
want to,
trivia?
compete, be on it. Just for fun.
Okay. All right. When's the boxing trivia show? Because that's right up my, alley.
See, there we
When
go.
is
Now
that?
we're friends, right? Now we're cool. All right, go on the channel, like you're watching this right now. Go on the channel and Trivia TKO, or just search on YouTube Trivia TKO, and you'll see the past episodes we did. And
you know what,
tuned for the next ones.
Revolucion, you did not answer his question at all. He asked, when is it gonna be? And you're like, well, just go check out Boxing TKO Trivia. That did not answer his question. What's the matter with you?
Because we're working on the next one. There's no
Listen,
set date for the next one.
You're talking to
So,
a guy from. You're
in the
talking to a guy from.
meantime- in the
You're
meantime,
talking
check
to a
out-
guy. You're talking to a guy from Baltimore. He's gonna need all the directions he can get to that particular page and the answer. All right. Stop being nosy around the block. All right. All right, Troy.
This
Listen.
guy's wonderful. Okay. Okay. Listen. Okay. Well, I'm gonna leave you with something, and then you could use it, I guess, in one of your shows. Name the two heavyweights that actually retired and never lost a fight, and name the great heavyweight champion that never lost a fight as a champion.
All right.
I'm talking about heavyweight. Right.
All right.
I
We're
can
gonna
give you
take
the
that.
answer if you like.
Well, no, we
That
got
never lost the belt as a heavyweight champion. Never lost a fight.
No, he never lost a fight as a champion. He lost as a fighter, but never a champion.
Oh, okay. So I was gonna say Rocky Marciano because he retired undefeated, but
Rocky Marciano's one everybody knows, but there's another one. He actually retired undefeated.
He retired undefeated, and he was a heavyweight, right?
Yes, sir.
Give us a hint. Give us a hint. Did the boxer have big ass nostrils or normal regular nostrils?
No, he was very flamboyant, and he was mentored by Malcolm X.
Never lost.
He's got
me. Never lost as a champion, but lost, I guess, as not a champion. So not undefeated
as a fighter. Yeah,
never lost as a champion.
And also, Sugar Ray Robinson used to carry his bags when they were young boys. Yeah. Sugar Ray Robinson used to be his bag boy.
Oh, so it's an old fighter.
Yeah.
Damn.
He's got me stumped. I'll tell you that much.
That's a good question. I don't think I'll get it.
Joe Louis never lost as a champion.
Oh, shit.
He lost as a fighter.
He lost as a fighter. He lost to Max Schmeling when he wasn't the champion. Right? Didn't he get knocked when Schmeling beat him?
Right.
All right. Well,
he was the champion when
the
he
other
fought
heavyweight
Schmeling
champion was Cassius Marcellus Clay. He never lost a fight. Cassius Marcellus Clay never lost a fight. Muhammad Ali did. Well, Cassius Marcellus Clay
that's
did.
why it was a trick question. Yeah.
That's a good point. Yeah.
That's why it was it. Okay. Yeah. All right. Listen, Troy. Forget comedy.
Yeah, have a good night, bud.
But hold on. Forget comedy writing. We need you to write the trivia questions for us because that was a pretty good one. Although we can't have trick questions, can we? Can we have trick questions, or is that too much?
Not for the official show.
You could have trick questions just as long as they're facts. Cassius Marcellus Clay never lost a fight, right?
That's true. That is a technicality, but it's true. Yeah. All right,
Muhammad Ali. It's a different ball.
To be honest with you, I can't promise I'll be awake all the time at this time because I drive in the morning for my church's food bank, so I'm usually knocked out by now. I just happen to be up because I have the day off tomorrow.
Oh, a fellow churchgoer. That's good to hear because I got a bunch of heathens here in the hangout. It's good to finally talk to somebody that goes to church. I'll tell you that much right now.
I used to be a good church boy.
All right, Troy.
I'll have a good night.
Normally don't go this late, Troy. Normally it's earlier.
All right, Troy. Thank you for calling in. Have a good night. God bless you.
All right, man.
All right, God bless you. All right, that was Troy. Not too happy with the comedy bits, but certainly enjoyed the boxing part. At least I hope. Chris Gonzalez says,
comes around. I love that when up front we were a little confrontational, but then we find a little common ground and we can all be friends.
Well, listen, speaking of confrontational, we got to recognize the Matrix on the Hangout. Recognize, are you there?
Yes.
Yeah, you can.
And I almost blew up Recognize the Spot. I almost said, "Oh, we got the trivia champion on." But
I was waiting for you to say that.
If he gets
but
this
never
wrong,
did.
I don't want to fucking.
Yeah, actually, you're right because I did get it wrong.
Yeah.
Recognize. I was about to move on from the Devin Haney fight. I was about to read a comment to kind of offset what people in the chat room are saying about Devin Haney. Let me just read that real quick. This guy says, I love how it is viewed as a disappointment or struggle when a fighter shuts out another in an exciting or undramatic fashion. Every fighter is going to have less than exciting or drama-less fight. I didn't even know drama-less was a word. Anyway, what matters is the win. It doesn't exactly make them less talented or dangerous than originally thought. In fact, the fighters that can completely dominate and shut out an inferior fighter without drama or excitement are the types of skilled fighters that guys like Davis and Loma should be worried about. Now, here's my thing. I've often said and repeated what Larry Merchant said a couple of years ago, which is look good. And sometimes you're going to have those fights where all you're going to have to do or worry about is win. Forget looking good. You're not going to look good in all of the fights. So if you have a particularly tough opponent, hey, get the win, worry about that, get through it, and then you can look good in the next ones. I think that's what Devin Haney, this was a lesson for him. It was a test. Recognize, what did you think? Did you watch the fight, and what did you make of Devin Haney?
No. Go ahead, Recognize.
Look, I don't make too much of it. I mean, the kid, like I thought, is a little too green right now. But to fight that's... Look, if you're going to compare him to Lomachenko, no, right? Like, I wouldn't, based on that performance, I wouldn't put him in there against Lomachenko. He needs a little bit more fights like that before going in there with him. But am I going to say he's exposed? The future's not bright for him? No, that's over-exaggerating too, right? But this guy that he fought is... Sorry, I'm in the pharmacy right now, so if you hear music in the back.
How come you're always somewhere at all times? First of all, it's 11:22 p.m. What are you doing at the only reason you would be at
the pharmacy's closed. What does that tell you?
No.
I live in New York.
Yeah, that's the thing. Either the only reason somebody goes to a pharmacy this late at night is they got a cold or they're looking for protection. Which one is it? Recognize? Which one is it?
No. I don't. I had to get stuff, but not protection because I don't need it. And yeah, come on, man. Protections are for losers. Anyway, and yeah, but going back to the fight, I think that Devin Haney showed that he's still green. That's all. That's all he showed. I don't make too much of it.
Well, there you go. Revolution. I keep saying revolution because I got revolution and recognize. Yeah. Don't cough into your mic. That's disgusting. Listen, the point is this. Recognize makes a good point. And I agree with him. Let's not make too much of this. Look, did you expect Devin Haney to be a power puncher in there? Because if you did, I understand why you would be disappointed. Now, you can say you're disappointed because he didn't show all of the tricks that most of the top 10 guys can show you. But then again, he's 20 years old. Now, you don't like that excuse? I don't know what to tell you. It is a valid reason for why he didn't look like a killer in there. But he showed speed. He showed the tenacity. He showed some good reflexes. I like his defense. So can't complain too much about that. Now, before we move on, by the way, John Gonzalez, a couple of minutes ago, sent the BDA top 10 pound for pound list. He says this is my BDA, my personal list. I don't know how he got it, but I'm going to put it up there. Hold on a second. I'm going to put it up on the screen so everybody can see it. Just want to tell you, full disclosure, I don't know how he got this, but we're going to get to the bottom of things. Now, you can't see it. It's too... well, I'm going to try to pull it up there. Hold on a second, guys. Give me a couple of seconds. So he says... My pound for pound list is Ryan Garcia, Gabriel Flores Jr., Jaime Munguia, Oscar Valdez, Emmanuel Navarrete, Jose Ramirez, Miguel Brichelt, Juan Francisco Estrada, Leo Santa Cruz, and you can't see it, but at the end it says Ray Vargas. I'm going to tell you something. I resent that joke. All right? Just what? Because I'm Mexican, I'm going to have a whole bunch of Mexicans. And Ryan Garcia, number one, if I was going to be biased and have a whole bunch of Mexicans on my pound for pound list, I would not have Ryan Garcia number one. I'll tell you that much right now. Despite my support for him as the next bastion of boxing. All right. Fellas, what do you think about this? This is disgusting, disgraceful.
Yeah. BDA would play hard to get. He'd keep him at 3. Before he wouldn't put him at 1 until he gets a little.
You're not helping me here. You know that, right?
No, I'm a hindrance.
You're
I'm a
big.
hindrance. I cause hijinks.
Hijinks. There you go. All right, listen. Okay, I wanted to move on because we're running out of time here. But I think we've said everything we had to say about Devin Haney. So I think some people are making too big a deal about him not looking all that great. But let's
What about
move on.
old BJ Saunders?
That's right. Exactly what I was going to.
They were calling him BJ Saunders too.
Oh yeah,
they
that's
call him
BJ.
BJ Saunders.
Beej.
That's disgusting. I mean, I don't go for that type of humor. But so what did you guys think about that fight? That performance, I should say. Come on,
Honestly, God,
somebody.
I didn't catch it. I saw I heard that he looked like shit, and then he just got the guy with an uppercut.
What is it with all this?
True.
Okay, but listen, if you want to say the guy looked bad, that's fine. But you got to use the S word. I mean, really, of all the words you could use, he looked mediocre, subpar. Nah, you got to go with the other S word. What's the matter with you?
Well, I'll use this S word.
And he cut off when he was going to say sorry. Anyway, recognize. Did you see the fight? I think we got some connection issues. That's what's going on here.
Yeah, a little bit of something. Recognize you there?
I'm here.
No, he's at the pharmacy.
Oh yeah, because
I'm,
we were having.
You can hear what I'm doing, right?
Yeah, we were having connection issues. So, did you watch the Billy Joe Saunders fight?
No, didn't watch it.
Oh, well, there you go.
I
don't
watched
know.
highlights, of course, but didn't watch it.
All right, well,
fight.
listen, here's the deal. He knocked out an Argentinian opponent. Now, these Argentinians, you got to watch out for them. They show up with undefeated records, but they never fought anybody. But even though they've never beaten anybody of note, you got to be careful because they can fuck your shit up. I mean, just think about Maidana. When he came on against Victor Ortiz, his only credible opponent really at that point was, what's his name? The Ukrainian fighter whose name escapes me right now. I'm having a bit of a blockage here, but that's the point with Argentinian fighters. You got to be careful. And Billy Joe Saunders, okay, he got hit a little bit. He got hit to the body too. He ended up dropping this dude. Bucho told me that he made this point. He says Billy Joe Saunders, when you think about it, when he wants to sit down on his punches, he's actually got a nice little pop on his shots. And that right uppercut that he used to put the guy down was a thing of beauty. Although, even though I thought he looked good in there, he says he wasn't very happy, and apparently he had to apologize, or he felt like he had to apologize to the crowd and said, listen, I'm sorry, but at least I gave you a knockout. That's what he said. Okay. Again, I thought he was pretty good, and I would like to see him in there against... I know some of you are going to find this a little bit weird, but hey, I want to see him against Canelo. I don't want to see Canelo Triple G2. I mean 3. I don't want to see Canelo against...
I don't want to see Canelo, period. No more.
Oh,
I
come
want
on.
to see Canelo because that's free money. I think it's locked in from this point. You're not going to see him lose.
All right, so as you can see,
you're right. I mean, the story's probably already written out for him, but yeah.
As you can see, ladies and gentlemen, we got a little dissent here in the ranks. We got a mutiny. We got 2 people that are saying that every fight from Canelo from now on is going to be fixed. Well, you know what I call you two? Racists. Because he's Mexican, he's going to have some sort of connection to cartels. Is that what you're saying?
Racist against the white guy.
Yeah, Mexicans know how to fix things. They fix my sink. They fix my roof. They fix...
Oh, come on. No.
That's wrong. That's wrong. You
That's a yellow card.
Sorry, man.
That's a yellow card. That's a yellow card right there.
Oh, I got one last show too. Oh no.
Well, it's a red card then. Sorry, buddy boy. It's going to be a red card if you keep it up.
Oh, fuck. Oh,
that's
man.
right.
All right.
But watch yourself, partner.
No, but I disagree. I disagree. I don't think you could fix everything. Can't do that.
No, yeah. And then you got the coughing there. Listen.
No, I was really coughing. I choked on my own spit.
Ah, jeez. Nobody wants to hear that. Listen, here's the point. Here's what people are saying. Just to give you a little bit of an indication of what people thought about Billy Joe Saunders. This guy with the Jack Nicholson photo says, lazy, lazy, lazy. The story of Billy Joe Saunders' career. Another guy says, maybe one of the biggest wastes of talent. At his best, he might compete with the elite, but we never know what we'll get with this guy. He had a chance to make a name for himself against Andrade and blew it. Now the first fight in the US, and he gave us 10 rounds of pure boredom. At least he got it done in the 11th. That's the other thing I wanted to tell you guys, because you didn't watch the fight, but oh boy, having connection issues again here. Hold on a
Yeah, it
sec.
says stream is offline. I just saw.
All right, now it's gonna come back. All right, well, we're back. We're back. Don't worry about it. Here's the thing about you guys that didn't see the fight. Billy Joe Saunders, after he dropped the dude, he actually started trying to walk him down, and he opened himself up. And what happened when he opened himself up? He got cracked a little bit. So do not think for a second that that's how he's gonna fight against Canelo Alvarez. Billy Joe Saunders is not gonna put pressure on Canelo Alvarez, because here's the thing: Canelo at this point, I think we can all see, is a pretty quick counterpuncher. And he's going to be counterpunching to the body, something that nobody's really ever done to Billy Joe Saunders before. But Billy Joe Saunders, he's got good upper body movement, good hand speed. And at this point, I think this is a good, difficult fight for Canelo, because everybody's talking about how, well, if he beat Kovalev, Canelo did, and nobody has a chance against him. BS. Remember what I told you guys about Roy Jones when he beat Ruiz? And how everybody... Oh, you got to mute your mic to recognize, because we hear a lot of that New York win. There you go. A lot of people, when Ruiz lost to Roy Jones, and Roy Jones was invincible, because everyone was like, well, hold on a second. If he beat Ruiz and actually hurt him in that fight, then nobody's going to have a chance against him. Tarver doesn't have a chance against him. Girov at cruiserweight doesn't have a chance against him. James Stoney, maybe Bernard Hopkins had a chance, but then again, people thought he was too small because he was still fighting at 160. So then what happened? Roy Jones took on Tarver and ended up having a tougher fight than expected, and then he lost. So it's about styles here.
No, I think Billy Joe will give him a tougher fight because, well, I'll just keep it so we could keep it, boxing.
Sure.
No other stuff. I would say I don't think Billy Joe is gonna fight as stupid as Sergey Kovalev. So that's gonna. I mean, Sergey Kovalev sucked. That was the worst performance of his career, and I don't expect that to happen twice. So Billy Joe is gonna give him, problems in terms of movement and shit like that, because Canelo's flat-footed, bro. Like, you can give him problems.
Exactly.
If you're a guy like Billy Joe could give him some problems. So I'm not saying he will win, but I wouldn't say he's gonna dominate him. No.
And that's the thing. I want to see Canelo against Billy Joe Saunders, because we saw him having trouble against Lara 5 years ago. I want to see Canelo has been improving on the front foot. He has been putting a little bit more pressure. I want to see him do that against Billy Joe Saunders and see if he can really cut the ring off and maybe turn into a Mexican version of Gennady Golovkin. Maybe. You just never know.
Hey, and you know what else? Maybe you'll see kind of like Cotto Martinez. Cotto kind of use the footwork, make Martinez use his knees.
Yeah.
I think that could be the fight. If Billy Joe just wants to get on the bicycle for a few rounds and just make Canelo keep turning and turning and turning and turning.
Yeah, I tell you though.
Fucking knees, man.
I tell you though, those Canelo knees didn't look all that bad against Kovalev. But hold on a second. Let's take a phone call. We got a phone call here. Let's go to the phone lines. 929, you're on the air. 929. I think it's Virtuoso.
Yes, it is him, man. What's up?
Hey, how you doing, man?
Welcome aboard, Vert.
Hey, I'm doing all right, man. So yeah, about the topic, is Lomachenko scared of Haney? I don't know about that. I mean, Saunders calls another fighter scared, and I think that's what, since Haney is alluding to that, since Loma is fighting for a different network now. When we have these, network barriers, it's very difficult to make these fights happen.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I don't think Haney really makes a good case for his title run. I mean, it's just given to him. I mean, he just got won an interim title from who? Who does that he beat? Did he beat that he thinks he's gonna beat Lomachenko? I mean, yeah. I like Devin Haney. I like what he puts out there in the ring. He's got fast hands. Can move around. But I wanted to recognize exactly what exactly is green about him. And what makes you think that Haney could beat Lomachenko?
Wait, what? I don't think he.
No, I just wanted to ask.
Well,
Yeah, I
right.
just
You
wanted
could
to
beat him when he
ask you
gets
guys like
older,
exactly
when Lomachenko is getting
what's
older,
green about
and
him.
he's getting better, but not right now.
Uh-huh.
He's still green, bro. He's still very green. He could be hit. That Dominican kid was hitting him.
Yeah,
Gave him a little feint and was giving him
but
problems
that's
just by feinting him.
yeah. Do you think it's about about his reach? Like if you fight somebody, that's longer than him, you think you run into those issues, or it's just just not one of his best days?
Bro, I think Tank will hurt him.
Hmm.
So I don't think
Yeah.
it's a reach thing. I think Tank will get in, hit him with some shit. I'm not saying he'll beat him, but he'll hurt him.
Yeah.
Forget about Lomachenko at this point, but
Yeah,
he should be
forget
trying to
Loma.
focus on fights with Tank and Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia's going to give him some problems too.
Yeah, Ryan Garcia, though, I mean, he doesn't move his head enough, so maybe I'd give the defensive
No,
edge.
I give it to Haney, but
Yeah,
Garcia's getting strong and
Yeah.
he's getting better.
he's got those Mexican tacos from the taco stands. You know what they got in there? They got those vitamins. Yeah, to make you strong, make you fast.
Beautiful.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that. Just putting it out there to people and the lawyers. I did not say that. All right. Virtuoso. So obviously, I mean, Devin Haney, he didn't look all that great. But then again, isn't that you can criticize him from the point of view that his fans were overrating him? But what did you think? I mean, going into the fight, were you expecting big things from him, or were you looking at from the perspective of you were going to see a 20-year-old green fighter in there?
Well, I thought he was gonna, dispatch him within, before it goes the distance. I mean, I don't know much about his opponents, and his own resume, that justified him winning the title. I mean, I don't know. The whole thing with the WBC is like really, really fucked up in the game right now. It's just giving out, franchise championships like that. They're, flyers in the streets. I really don't get that. I mean, how exactly is Loma? Can Loma still be undisputed? Or
Yeah,
do we have to face Haney? In order to keep that WBC lightweight title? I don't know. It's just very diluted. The whole concept of being a champion in boxing these days.
Yeah, listen, I don't pay attention to all that. How do you who has a title? Can you become undefeated? I don't know. The procedure, it's more complicated than going to the DMV. Now, somebody in the chat room, Chris K in the chat room, aka Undercover Asian, says Ryan Garcia practices a lot of head movement, just not in the gym. I mean, come on. Chris K, why you gotta go there, man?
Oh man.
But for real, on that topic, real quick, I just want to mention, have you ever gotten a real, this goes to everybody, a real sloppy blowjob?
Okay, come on. What's the matter with you?
Drippy everywhere, spit everywhere, and just
Plenty.
fucking the noises of all that.
Same.
Yeah, that's all I could hear during the Devin Haney fight from fucking Sergio Mora.
Yeah, Sergio Mora likes it like that, huh?
He put himself in the fucking right place at the right time. He earned that belt. He beat everybody they put in front of him.
Yeah,
He's got a big dick.
All right, you know what?
And then Chris Mannix coming with the, hey, when you fighting Pito Manfredo again?
I would have. You see, like, I'm the guy that gets fired from that station. I'd be like, cool, Sergio. Who did he beat?
Yes, you're like the guy from the police academy with the sound effects. By the way, we got listen, because Revolucion keeps bringing up that Sergio Mora was really kissing the Haney's ass and blowing him. I'll put up a snippet of his commentary, and you tell me whether that was true or not. All right?
He put himself in the right place.
Might have a point. Might have a point.
Intersperse those two.
Anyway, listen, Virtuoso, man, we gotta move on. But anything else you want to say before we let you go?
Yes. Before I head to bed, I just want to say this: Jeffrey Epstein did not kill himself.
Oh, wait a minute. What?
I agree.
Oh, buddy.
I agree.
All right, Virtuoso. Thank you for
Hey,
the call.
sweet dreams, buddy. Stay warm, stay toasty under the covers.
That's right. Stay comfy out there. This podcast is all about comfiness today. Recognize, are you comfy out there right now?
Am I what?
Comfy, comfortable.
I'm comfortable now. I mean, whenever you go to a 24-hour pharmacy in New York, you best believe you're like not too far from a ghetto. So I'm comfortable now.
Wait a minute. The people that at the pharmacy with, were they Asians, Middle Easterners? Like, wow.
You know what? They're Indians. They're like Pakistan, India, those type of Indians.
Asians then. Yeah. Well, okay, yeah, but not Orientals.
No, not not Oriental.
All right, fantastic. Now, yeah, I don't know. Virtuoso, he said that thing about Epstein didn't kill himself. I just want to make it clear right now. I agree with the official narrative. He did kill himself. He hung himself. What was it? 3 inches from his bed or something like that. I believe the whole story. All right, I do not question it.
Yes, BDA believes the official narrative that Epstein, hung himself, and we also believe that Kovalev chose to fight the worst fight of his career just in time to fight Canelo.
I don't know. It sounds like you've been taking some sarcasm classes from Troy there. Recognize you gotta watch it. All right. Now listen.
I'm just saying.
Moving back to Billy Joe Saunders. I want to see that fight, and you know what? I think an awful fight for him. I don't think anybody wants to fight Liam Smith at this point. I mean, not Liam Smith, Callum Smith. That man is just too dangerous, man. Too tall. He can whack. Billy Joe Saunders is
He
not going to
probably beats Billy Joe, man. He probably beats him by knockout, if anything.
Yeah, I think Billy Joe is biding his time right now, and he's watching and waiting to see what Canelo's gonna do. Whether he's gonna drop down to 168, whether he's gonna look for a Triple G fight again. I mean, who knows? But I'll tell you what, though, this guy on Ring Magazine, Ring TV, who said that he's a hot and cold fighter. That's the thing. Billy Joe Saunders is the quintessential hot and cold fighter. Some fights he'll look good. Other fights, he'll just look. Oh, and by the way, that's the thing. Remember when he got himself in shape, or at least he looked in better physical shape from a aesthetic standpoint against David Lemieux. He was cut and all that. He was looking back to. I mean, he was back to looking fat there last night. He was chunky, very little definition. Now I know this isn't a body contest, but you gotta wonder what happens, or what's happening with the dude. Is he taking this career seriously? Do you guys think he's the type of guy that can only get up for the big fights?
Yeah.
Perhaps I like this. This may sound stupid, but I follow him on Instagram, and he seems like a really relaxed, nonchalant kind of dude. And just from the vibe I get is that he doesn't really commit 100% to boxing. He may be in only 75%.
Now, I want to read another.
A lot from people's Instagrams, man. Like
that's true.
I see fucking Andy Ruiz eating tacos and drinking jarritos and all that. You can't hide that. Come on, Andy Ruiz.
Yeah.
Chilling in fucking convertibles or Rolexes, not being in the gym.
Supposedly he's losing weight, according to what Bucho told me, but I don't know if that's Photoshopped. We got to get some official confirmation. I want to see video of Ruiz looking trim. Otherwise, I do not believe anything anymore. By the way, speaking of Billy Joe Saunders, another comment from Ring TV. This guy goes, because apparently in the article they said that Billy Joe Saunders showed us last night. Billy Joe Saunders showed what made him an elite middleweight, and this guy goes, "What? What has this guy ever done to be called elite? I just don't get it. Split decision with a totally novice Eubank Jr., a handy win against Lemieux, who is not elite. Why do the weird beard boxing hipsters rave about this Herbert when he achieved so little?" Okay, what is that Herbert? Is that like a herb? Is that long for herb, or is that an insult? I don't get it. Can anybody explain that to me?
You said hermit?
Herbert, like the name Herb. Herbert.
Like Herbert Hoover.
He's a herb.
I think that's what he's trying to call him, a herb.
Yeah. Herb is so old, man.
Yeah, that's from your time.
Like calling somebody a herb dude, I remember that like in the fucking 80s.
Fuck,
That
I was
dude's a
calling
herb.
people a herb in like the mid 2000s.
No kidding.
Yeah,
Really?
it's all,
And they're calling it Herbert now, so they're trying to put a new spin on it and bring it back.
it's all recycled words.
Well, like Michael Stott says, the big insult now is to call people boomers, which I do not appreciate at
Yeah.
all. I do not appreciate being called a boomer. And I tell you what, though, in my day, we had respect for our elders. I'll tell you that much right now. All right, so that's enough with Billy Joe Saunders. Look, if he wants
It's
to
better
fight
than
somebody,
millennial. It's better than being called a millennial. I'll tell you that.
Oh. You gotta watch it there. Better watch it, recognize we got a lot of youngins listening. A lot of Zoomers, a lot of millennials. Millennials?
A bunch of crybabies.
Come on. What's the matter with you? I wanted to...
You guys want to hear a little zinger I posted on Facebook about the
Go
whole boomer millennial?
Sure.
Get this.
Liven up the night.
Buckle your seatbelts, man, because this is...
I'm buckled up.
I said, next person to post a boomers versus millennials meme is gonna hear a boom and get knocked into the next millennium.
All right, Revolucion, it's time to go, man. You gotta leave. I think Troy, he made a good point about we do need some fucking writers for this show. All right, listen, hold on a second. Before we move on, that was a good pun, by the way. I love a good pun. I'm just teasing.
And then I wrote, I know that's not my best, but you get the point. So
Yeah.
it was self-aware.
Absolutely. You gotta add that at the end. All right.
Fuck, you come up with one better, motherfucker.
I will.
That was terrible.
Hold on a second. We got a caller, 773. You're on the air, 773.
Sounds
Jack
like Chi-Town.
Completely ruined that fight. He took 2 points away in the 6-round fight, in a good fight. Logan Paul landed a beautiful uppercut, slipped the jab, landed a beautiful uppercut, rocked KSI, he held the back of the head and he threw an uppercut. Boxers do that all the time, man. I see that shit all the time. I see boxers hold it and grab it and punch at the same time.
Well, hold on.
But Jack
Kevin. Is this Kevin from Chicago, right?
Yeah.
Are you in a shopping mall right now?
No.
Okay, because I hear some jingles in the background, like you're in a shopping mall or something.
I don't know what that is. What, you hear me now? How's it
Yeah,
going?
we can hear you.
Is it clear?
Yeah. So you weren't happy with Jack Reese's work?
Yeah, who won between the cracker and the monkey? Who won? Who won that
Okay,
fight?
whoa! What? What are you doing?
Sorry. I thought I was talking to. Sorry.
He was out of there in that 4th round. He was on stinky legs. He was fumbling around the ring. He didn't know where he was. Jack Reese stopped the fight and gave him a 5-minute break. That's ridiculous, man. The fight was
He
over
hit
right
him in
then
the
and
back
there.
of the head on the way down and held and hit. Jack Reese did what he had to do.
Who gives a shit? Fighters do it all the time, man. These are amateurs.
Yeah, no, I totally agree.
This is their first boxing fight. Let them fight. I mean, he was fighting off instincts there. These ain't pros, you know the rules in and out. He was fighting off instincts. You killed them. Let them knock each other out. That's what they're there. They're there to fucking knock each other out. He was about to knock him out. Jack Reese stopped the fight, took 2 points away in a 6-round fight, and he killed it. The fight was over.
Who won the fight?
You can't take away. KSI won because that's 2-point deduction. You can't take.
Okay, who is? I'm sorry for
away in
asking
a
you this,
6-round
but
fight.
who is? Is it the black guy or the white guy? Who won?
Black dude.
Ah, okay.
All right, hold on. Here's the thing, guys. Let me go into conspiracy mode. That's what I do best here. This fight apparently looked like it was gaining a lot of traction in social media. It seemed to do good numbers. Okay? So my thing is, what if this was all a plan to create controversy and create a rubber match?
Ah.
Well, no, because in the
KSI don't want
after
that.
fight, and
He
KSI
already said he don't
no.
want it.
Well, of course he's gonna say that.
This
He wants to
isn't-
play ball. He wants to play. He's gonna play tough in there. Hard to get.
I don't know about the conspiracy. I think the conspiracy is Jack Reese. He's a shit ref, and for whatever reason, he keeps getting these big fights. Whenever you got the mainstream media praising him, all the usual suspects. Oh man, he's one of the best. He's one of the best refs. You know something's up. Something's fishy. You remember in that Andre Ward Rodriguez fight where he threatened to disqualify both of them so they wouldn't get their pay? I think his exact words were, "You guys better knock it off. I'm going to disqualify you, and you both won't get paid."
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's the type of guy Jack Reese is. Over a little scuffle, he's like, I'm going to disqualify both of you, and you won't get paid.
That was
Doesn't have
going
the
for like
authority
4
on
rounds.
who gets paid
I
or not.
kind of liked that. I liked that a little bit.
L'Evolution likes it. L'Evolution likes it when men in authority are aggressive with him. That's what's going on here.
Yes.
And they have to be old gray hair too.
Oh, jeez.
I like a good
You know
lemon
what?
party.
Another thing is,
Mine's with his
there's these
childhood.
old ass refs. These old ass refs. Only in boxing, there's like 70 or 80-year-old refs reffing matches. You don't see this shit in MMA.
That's a good point.
They don't have these 80-year-old frail ass old men reffing fights. It's usually prime, fit, maybe 40 years old. That's usually the highest it gets, 40, 45. There's no fucking 75-year-old man reffing fights. That dude has he probably has dementia. That dude probably has dementia.
Fucking going, he doesn't remember. Doesn't remember what round he's in. He's like, fucking skip round. Hurry up.
He disqualifies a guy.
You know what it is,
he
though?
stops. What is it? Go ahead.
He made that fight about himself.
Yeah, he has a tendency
That's
to
the type
do
of
that.
guy Jack Reese is.
All right.
He did it in the
That's a lot of these refs
Lomachenko,
like to do.
Krola fight,
They
too.
like the attention. A lot of
It's
these
like
refs
Teddy
like
Atlas,
the
you're
attention.
saying, right?
They like the spotlight. We shouldn't even know these refs' name. We shouldn't have no idea who they are. If we're talking about the ref and this and that, if we know who the ref is, that's not a good thing. Refs should be invisible. You're there to break up the fight. When they clinch, separate them. That's your job. And
But
maybe
Kevin,
if they're doing low blows, then
let me
warn
ask you.
them.
I want to ask you something because I forget. Does Jack Reese have one of those slogans that he does right before the fight starts? You know, like "Let's get it on" or
Yeah, I'm a Jew. Jack
Okay.
Reese, I'm a Jew.
no.
That's him.
No. Hold on a second.
I like this guy.
No, I don't like him.
this guy.
No.
I like him.
Listen,
773, I
Jack Reese
like
is a Jew. You guys didn't know that?
Oh, shut up, man. What are you doing?
Gentlemen, I'm firm but fair.
Be honest now. Be honest now. Be the fuck honest now.
Let's be honest here. If you keep that up, we are gonna get.
He said juice. He said juice. That's what he said.
No.
You're out. Get out. Go on. Let's go.
All right, that's it. Kevin, I'm gonna have to hang up on you. Hey, Kevin, I'm gonna.
Throw me in the
Why
oven.
you showing? Don't show him, okay? I mean, there's always a fucking show. Why show it, Kevin?
Shut up, Kevin. I gotta hang up. Thank you for calling in, and we'll see you in the next one. All right? If
Kevin,
we're still around,
you're a good man by me.
you'll see us. We'll see you in the next one if we're still around, and not shut down because of your call. All right. So that was Kevin from Chicago. A little bit too
I like
rambunctious.
Chicago keeps it real. Shout out
You
to
think
Chicago.
so? I think Chicago needs to have a history lesson. That's what I think, and they need to start
Chicago's
appreciating.
dangerous as fuck, but I like Chicago.
Yeah, I do too. But they need to appreciate a little bit more our greatest ally, as opposed to slandering and making anti-Semitic remarks. That's my opinion, and I do not agree with Kevin from Chicago. Let's just put it that way. All right, listen. And yeah, by the way, the best part about that Andrew Ward Rodriguez scuffle was when Jack Reese, I think he got grazed or something with a slap, and he made a big deal out of, oh, this guy's almost hit me, you almost hit me, and then when he goes over to the commissioner, he goes, all right, first of all, I almost got hit, and then you hear Roy Jones laughing. It's like, it's fucking evil laugh. I think
That'd be funny if he looked at Roy and said, "What the fuck you laughing at?"
But yeah,
I
Jack
fucking
Reese.
love that clip. He's crazy. All right, first of all, I got hit. I need a minute. I got hit.
Yeah, he got hit.
Okay.
Yeah, I think
he goes
it's.
to the corner. Andre, you can't be doing this shit, man. You gotta relax. Goes the other corner. Edwin, you're instigating a lot of this shit, man. You gotta fucking cool it. And
Yeah,
then
I
took
think
2
Kevin from
points off
Chicago
of
makes a good
each.
point. I think Kevin from Chicago makes a good point that he does tend to get a little bit overzealous and make things about himself. Now, what I wanted to get to about the slogans or the taglines, or what do you call them? Those. It's what I hated when they did that because it's attracting attention to themselves. The referee. The worst had to be Joe Cortez. Remember, guys, I'm firm, but I'm firm. Shut your fucking ass up. Ref the fights. We don't want to see you. Nobody paid to see your bald ass. Just referee the fight as best as you can and shut your fucking mouth. Oh, I'm firm,
Remember,
but I'm firm.
guys, I'm old as fuck and my cock can't get firm anymore. I mean.
Kenny Bayless too. Remember, guys, what I say, you most obey. It's like, really?
Shut up, Kenny.
But nobody beats, and this one I have no problem with. He's the best. It's the guy that refereed the Amir Khan versus Lamont Peterson fight, where he goes, "Let's touch hands and let's draw some thunder." That guy was good. I have no problem with that at all. Let's also.
Let's see. What would I say if I was a ref and I had to come with a line? What would I say? I say, all right, gentlemen. Give me a second. Before the end of the show, I'll come with something. Hang on.
It better be better. It better be better than an improvement over that pun of yours. Otherwise, I don't want to hear it. All right.
The boomer millennial pun. That was.
I don't want to hear it.
You know what I'll say to both guys? You know
What's
what I'll say? I hope one of you guys are better than the other.
That's actually pretty good. Because it's like he's making fun of the fighters. Like, he's lighting a little bit of a fire under their asses, saying, "Hey, show me what you got, fellas. Show me what you got."
Okay. I got it. Classic. You ready for this? All right, gentlemen. All right, bring it in. I went over the instructions of the boxing room. The
boxing
room.
room.
I mean.
Oh, you screwed it up already.
You
screwed it up already.
Belt here is good. Belt here is a little bit high. Touch gloves. And remember, boys, there's no crying in boxing.
Oh, that would be somebody should throw a chair at your head. Like what's his name? What was that referee in the Hasim Rahman?
Boo! I just want to boo.
Yeah, that was. Oh, I'm cringing.
Booze after that line.
Imagine if you wanna keep it along that line. Imagine you're the ref and you go, "All right, guys, good luck, and let's try to be friendly after this." Or something like that. Something real lame. We should try to come up with the lamest. That's a good bit there, Robinson. We should try to come up with the lamest referee slogan.
Referee tagline.
Yeah.
I'll be like, listen, I'm fair and I'm firm, and don't act like little bitches. Fight like men.
Oh, yeah, but that's just too aggressive. You can see recognize with his testosterone uptake, like the doctor told him. That's why you can see it. You can it's reflected.
Hey, BDA, did I tell you that the doctor said that I'm too manly?
Yes.
For my own good?
Yes. Thank you for reminding us.
Okay, I just want to make sure I told you that.
All right. So you know what? Let's move on from Billy Joe Saunders, because I don't think we got much more to say about him. Did you see Ring TV's pound for pound list?
No, I didn't get to see it.
Well, I don't think you're going to be surprised to see that Golden Boy owned Ring TV just put Lomachenko at number 2 and Canelo at number 1.
And who?
Canelo. Who else?
Oh, I'm not sure. I thought you were going to say somebody else.
No.
No, Canelo being number 1, that's not a shock.
Yeah, it was 62 weeks on the list. Like, didn't he just get removed from the list for failing that drug test last year?
Well, it seems like
and
they put him right
back up to number 1. Yeah, that's great standard to go by, boys.
I mean, come on, it's. I have lost all interest. Well, not all interest, but a lot of interest in.
Well,
look.
In the fantasy,
that's it.
Look, you got to keep it in the perspective of what they're trying to sell to you. Now, I don't believe that fight was legit, but if you are going to believe that it is, then Canelo's a very high pound for pound fighter.
That's true. Right?
Regardless of whatever you think, whether you don't think he deserves to beat it, if you feel the fight was, then you can't really knock Oscar De La Hoya for having him number 1. I take myself out of that, and so I'm not even going to give my opinion on that. So yeah, I don't have a problem with De La Hoya's. And for those who are buying it, you can't knock him for having Canelo number 1. He went up to light heavyweight and knocked out Kovalev.
I like how you keep saying if it was legit. You're still having doubts, huh?
I propose it like this: if you believe it's legit,
right,
you think that this was a legit fight, nothing to see here. On paper, he won, he knocked him out. Then I think Oscar De La Hoya having him at number one shouldn't really be a problem because he did go up 2 weight classes and knocked out Kovalev.
That's true. Yeah, yeah, you gotta go with it. I mean, at this point, and as we always say, pound for pound lists are subjective. It's what you like, but you do have to have a certain amount of standards in there. Now, the one that I'm gonna go with right now is ESPN's pound for pound list. They have Lomachenko at number one, Terence Crawford number two. I don't agree with Crawford number two, but say whatever. Canelo Alvarez number three, Inoue at number four, Spence Jr. at number five. I think they're gonna have to take him out of there if he goes back, if he goes to rehab or something, or first he's got to go to the dentist, like Johnny Boy keeps saying. Then Usyk at 6, Gennady Golovkin at number 7. By the way, are these typos in here? I think I see typos. Anyway, Juan Francisco Estrada, Manny Pacquiao at 9, Mikey Garcia is still at number 10. And it's interesting because if you look at here at this is all based on the amount of points that certain fighters received from the panelists over at ESPN, and then that's how they decided who is the pound for pound. Lomachenko had 121 points. Crawford had 112. Canelo 109. And as you can see here, Teddy Atlas, like they give you all the guys that voted, they have their own list. So Atlas has Lomachenko at number 1, Crawford 2, Canelo 3. So that seems to be the consensus, guys. Lomachenko 1, Crawford 2, Canelo 3, and then you have other people sort of like twining or changing up those top 3, but those seems to be the top 3 for most people. Do you agree or disagree?
I don't agree with it, but I don't disagree with it. It's whatever.
That makes no sense. You agree with it, but you don't. You disagree. But
no, I
anyway.
mean I don't agree with it, or
he's indifferent.
No, I can't really disagree. Like I did. Okay, we're gonna. Am I gonna battle Oscar De La Hoya and be like, yeah, De La Hoya, you're biased, you're this, you're that.
Oh, but this is Steve. This is ESPN.
Oh, ESPN. Well,
yeah.
I mean, who they had number? They had
Lomachenko number 1. Lomachenko number 1.
I probably agree with that. Maybe. Number 2, Terence Crawford. I don't agree with that. And who's number 3?
Canelo.
Canelo. Yeah, I don't agree with the other 2, but.
Well, there you go. I mean,
it's okay. I mean,
they've got Usyk at 6 or 7, I think, which is
nobody. I'm looking at the people that voted. Okay, Nigel Collins has Usyk number 7. I don't understand why it's the disrespect. Joe Tessitore has Usyk at number 5. Andrew Ward has him at number 4. I think Andrew Ward is the only guy that has him in the top or above number 5.
Usyk has, Andre Ward has Usyk number 4.
Yes.
That's I you know what? I have him a little higher than that, but that's fair. I mean, I don't know who he has in front of him, but number 4 sounds just about right. I think he's at least a top 5 pound for pound fighter.
Right. Yeah, I think so too, man. I mean, I think Usyk, he cleaned out a division. He might make some waves in heavyweight, just based on everything he did at cruiserweight. He should be higher than that. But then again, he also he took a layoff, so maybe that hurt him too.
You know, that could be it too, and they just maybe in their opinion, they don't view what he did at cruiserweight, even though like guys like me and you definitely think that shit was pretty awesome. They probably view what he did at cruiserweight. Okay, it's real good, but it's not better than the other guys they got in front of him.
Right.
Whoever those guys are, like they got Earl Spence. I don't understand that. Okay.
Yep. This guy named Pilati, I don't know what his first name is or who he is, but he has Spence number 2. Another guy, Moynihan, I think he's a journalist. He has Spence number 2. I mean, that's a little bit, that's too much.
These are boomers. Yeah.
These are boomers.
This is who Revolution is talking about. Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, screw that pound for pound list.
Look at me, I'm not racist. That's the boomer's favorite statement. Is look at me, I'm not racist.
Yeah. A real man doesn't define himself whether he's racist or not. A real man defines himself by the type of slogan he has right before he announces a fight. Now listen, I wanted to tell you something else as well here. Luis Ortiz, as you all know, is preparing to fight Deontay Wilder again. I went over to the Twitter page, and there's this clip from the documentary that they have, sort of like 24/7 thing, and he says he looks at his meal and he goes, "Ugh, this is it." I'm gonna play you the clip here. Is there something missing? He says, because he's got some salad and what looks like what appears to be chicken and some potatoes or something. And he goes, "This is it? Is there something missing?" So obviously, it seems like they're restricting his food or calorie intake, I should say. Even though he's a heavyweight, they still want him to come in lean. And he's complaining about the amount of food that he's getting. Now, let me tell you something. I'm very disappointed
What is
in
he?
Luis
Jalapeno poppers?
It seems
What
like that,
is that
right?
in front of him?
I don't know. It seems like jalapeno. I think it's hold on. Let me put full screen. I think
Get
it's
that back up.
I think it's roasted chicken. I don't think it's. I don't think he's eating tendies or breaded chicken. So he's got like salad and some chicken there. And I gotta tell you, I'm very disappointed with him complaining about this because he's from
Maybe some
Cuba.
plátanos.
But here's the thing, though. He's from Cuba, right? He had to go through food rationing, the communist regime, and now he's in the United States, and right away he becomes a Yankee pig. He starts talking about, "Oh, this is it. That's all I got. You were eating grass sandwiches over in Cuba, and now you're complaining about while you're eating chicken tendies. Get the fuck out of here. I am now rooting for Deontay Wilder in the rematch. All right, write it down. I am rooting for Deontay Wilder in the rematch. I hope he takes Luis Ortiz, the Yankee pig's head off. That's what I think."
I hope Wilder gets arrested. That's what I hope.
Wait. What's he gonna get arrested?
For beating up a senior citizen.
Well, that's the other thing. Somebody.
Yeah, just as bad as Conor McGregor, really.
Oh yeah, that's true. Huh? This guy punched an old man, and all of a sudden nothing was. Anyway, listen. I went over to the Boxing 24. I always got to go to Boxing 24 to read people's comments. And they're talking about Ortiz, right? And this guy goes, "Why do people keep making jokes about his age? The guy is 40, period. That's what his birth certificate says. And unless you were the ones who gave birth to him, I mean, it's a very badly written comment. Unless you were the ones who gave birth to him to know his right age, just because he looks a little older doesn't mean shit. I'm 39 and I look 27. I call bullshit on that. Does that mean
I call bullshit on
that? That guy's from Cuba too.
Yeah, that guy's from Cuba. No, actually, I think
that's why the fucking shit is badly written.
Okay, come on, man. And this guy.
Up.
And this guy goes, "It's not based on his looks. People defected from Cuba and places like that don't always have a birth certificate. So they take their word as to their age and they have nothing to go by and they feel a lot of times they lied about their age." Then this guy who was defending Ortiz comes back and he goes, "We hoping Ortiz wins this one. To me, he is one of the best of the division. I'll 100% con King Kong. This time we get the world title champ. Mexico is supporting you on this one." First of all, this guy says he's 39 years old. At 39 years old, you should already know how to use punctuation when you write, all right? Stupid fuck. And then first of all, you go to this comment section, it is just filled with the most vile, racist, homophobic things in all of the boxing forums, and that's why I go there. But there was another comment. Hold on a second here. And again, they're very badly written. Fuck. Somebody was saying that, Ortiz, nobody wants to fight him. Wilder is the only one that wants to fight him. Wilder said that if you fight Ortiz and you can beat him, you get an immediate title shot from him. And I'm thinking, since when is beating a guy, 45-year-old guy who struggled with the Jewish hammer or the Hebrew hammer, and who struggled with he struggled with Christian Hammer and he struggled with Tarvis Kaufman, if I forget his name. Since when is that the gold standard to deserve a title shot in the heavyweight division?
Wilder's crazy. I told you already. That dude is like, there's something wrong with that dude.
You don't like the guy, do you?
No, I actually kind of like him because he's honest. Like I think he's honest in a stupid way. Like he tries too hard. He wants to be, like I said, he wants to be loved. But his honesty, his brutal honesty, that comes out very stupid. It is what it is.
Yeah, that's true.
You got to fight Ortiz. Like what? Why do I got to fight Ortiz to fight you?
Yeah. No, you're right. That's
like, what if I beat AJ? What if I beat Pavieck? What if I beat Dylan White? Does that earn me a
shit!
shot?
I had a dream last night about
Was you kissing
I
his
just
chest or
remembered
something?
it.
What?
Wait, what's that?
Were you kissing his chest? You said you had a dream about
No,
it.
no, no.
come on.
I was watching a fight. It was between him and I don't remember who he was fighting. It could have been either like I think Pulev or I don't think it was Wild. Maybe AJ.
All right, is this about a prediction or are you just
way,
gonna tell us
what
your
happened
dreams?
was he got punched and he fell out of the ring, and they gave him the 20 count, and he was walking around like he fell and he got up. He was like walking around the ring like it was wrestling, and he was just like taking his time, and then he got back in, and he got knocked out. That was weird.
Yeah,
You just made me remember that shit.
I like how you guys think this is your psychiatrist office here, and you come in and you tell us about your dreams and tell us
No,
about
we
your
the
parents.
Dream Brothers, man. Me and
You,
me
yeah, you.
recognize we're the show psychics.
That's right.
We
Yeah.
have visions about these things.
Trying to match my dream that I had when Derevianchenko almost killed Golovkin.
Yeah, you were trying to match my dream because I had the dream Canelo knocked out Golovkin. Back last year, I had that one.
Oh, how did that work?
He got laid out his ass, man.
Hey, by the way,
He lost the fight, but what I really want to talk about real quick, Travis Kaufman. You brought up Travis Kaufman.
that's right.
It's great.
So
Like a great fight.
yeah, so there's this guy in the United States, Travis Kaufman. They killed a mountain lion. You remember this? Back in February,
He killed who?
a mountain lion.
Oh, wow.
This guy was on a hike with his girlfriend, and they got attacked by a mountain lion, and he killed it.
You know where you see a lot of those at?
Where's
in
that?
Arizona.
Word? Well,
Arizona.
this was in Colorado.
Yeah.
And the thing is, if you go to Travis Kaufman, if you go to the boxer Travis Kaufman's Wikipedia page, on the professional record, somebody put in mountain lion.
Oh, come on.
He beat a mountain lion in a first round knockout in his
That's
his
pretty good.
MMA debut.
Hey, fellas, I'll be right back.
And that's
all right?
been there for 9 months and it hasn't gotten taken down.
That's unacceptable. Somebody should fact check that. Guys, I'll be right back. All right, give me 2 seconds. Continue to. Hey, yeah, okay. I'll leave you with a little morsel here. A little morsel. According to some rumors, Devin Haney got paid $1 million last night. He's 20 years old. Already has a belt, which they're meaningless, but apparently they can still get you some big paydays just because you're a champ. You guys maybe want to talk a little bit about that while I go and.
Well, the belts may be meaningless, but money sure is meaningful. And that sucks that I got $1 million. I wish I got that million. But that's what it is when you fucking fight on a YouTube celebrity undercard.
So wait a second. You got paid $1 million?
Yeah.
Why wasn't he the main event then?
Because everybody would have fucking left after KSI Logan Paul. The point
Yeah.
is
My
he got the
point?
trickle down. KSI and Logan Paul probably got paid more.
Listen, bro, this is just a way to make Devin Haney some money because we all know Devin Haney can't make that money.
For real.
That's all that is. So they can, when it comes time for him to getting like a big fight, he can say, "Oh, I headlined it." They'll make it look like he was the headline. I got $1 million for fights. You're gonna have to pay me extra to fight Lomachenko or somebody like that.
Yeah, fuck.
Yeah.
Give him some leverage. Man, to be honest, now there's just me and you on here, recognize?
And nobody could hear us. Go ahead.
Now that's just between me and you. Man, I'm getting a little disgusted. I'm getting real disgusted with boxing lately.
Oh yeah, I've been disgusted with boxing.
Probably for like years and years and years you have.
Oh
me,
yeah.
I'm like a young little boy. Like I was naive. I've been naive for years. Now it's just,
Dude,
just gonna kind of look
remember
at
the
it.
story? Remember the story I told you about my VHS tapes?
Yes, sir. I could totally relate to that, man. But go
ahead. I stopped watching boxing for like 3 years after that.
Oh, you were shell shocked because of that.
Yeah, I was pissed off.
Wow.
As
I
you
was so
should be.
angry. I
As
stopped
you
watching
should have been.
boxing.
You know what? You should have destroyed your ex-wife's shoe collection. That would have been some great way to get back at her. You know, that's why the women prize their shoes, just like we prize or car collection, stamp collection,
Mm-hmm.
videotape collection, whatever. You should have done that.
I should have.
Hey, but
You're
anyway, should
100%
have.
right.
Yeah, should
But
have,
I'm a
would
good
have.
guy. Despite what everybody else says about me, I'm a good person.
No, but you know what? You guys have a good point. You guys have a good point about Devin Haney. I mean, he's getting paid $1 million now. How much is he going to ask for when he actually has to take on a top 10 guy? He's going to ask for 3 mil, 4 mil. This is a bad precedent for the zone. Paying $1 million to a guy who doesn't really have a fan base, and at this point has not shown that he's an entertaining fighter. So we got to keep an eye on this. But it's not a good plan, if you ask me.
And this is what I said before, BDA, where it's like, if you feel like you've achieved shit, then you're not going to work for shit.
Exactly.
You're giving him $1 million. That's really going to affect his motivation.
You know, I wanted to say one thing. He does remind me of Mayweather a little bit.
In what sense?
You know, the way he throws that overhand right from his Philly shell, when like he makes you like when he's counter punching you.
Ah, yes.
A little Mayweather-esque, man.
It's true. It's true. He does a good shoulder roll. And
No, I think Mayweather was better. You know, I think Mayweather. I think I can safely say Mayweather was better than him. But there's a little bit of that. You know, he did train with his father, right?
Yeah, a little bit. He was at the Mayweather gym for a couple of years, so he hung around those guys.
So he probably can naturally do it too, because maybe he's as a fighter he's sort of built in the same way to fight like a Mayweather. Look, man, I don't want to rag on the kid. I think you're committing suicide if you put him in there too early with a guy like Lomachenko at this point. He's just slow down, bro. Trust me when I tell you this. His peoples don't want that. They don't even want it.
Yeah, but they're gonna have to pose and play the game and say, "No, yeah, we
that's
ready,
all it is. Pose, like clout. What do the young bucks say? Clout chasing.
yeah, that's what they're saying now. That's what they say in the streets now. Cloud chasing. Yeah, but listen, he needs a lot of seasoning, and pretty sure he's keeping an eye on the Teofimo Lopez Comey fight, which is going to be taking place later on, before the year is over. And by the way, we got Jackson still on the line. I think he called back a while back. Let's just see what he's got to say. Hold on a second. Jackson, are you there?
Yes, sir.
All right. You forget
Action
to
Jackson, how you
First
doing?
of all,
Go ahead.
5 quick points. We need to get Jason Bourne to rehab. I think he needs it. We can fund him through the BDA rehab program. We'll get him there. And what else was I going to say? You guys brought up some good points about Haney being a pussy.
Oh, we
And
didn't
I
say
don't
that.
know if Loma can run through him. I don't know if that's a good stylist. He's got his what Loma would have to do is constantly feint, different types of feints, and that takes a lot of energy out of you. I'm not saying Loma wouldn't knock him out, but I just see it being a very tiring fight, like how Pacquiao fought Thurman and how we started to gas in the later rounds.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Lomachenko will tire you out with those feints, and it's just. And by the way, there was one.
But I'm saying Loma will get tired.
Oh, what?
Because he's going to be feigning. That's tiring. Do you know how tiring that is? To constantly feint.
Yeah, it's pretty tiresome, that's for sure.
But that's what he does.
No, but he does it. Then people by like the 4th round are like, "Fuck this, I'm done."
Exactly.
So he doesn't have to do it anymore.
Yeah. Well, listen.
I'm
going
to have to keep
I'm
going
just saying
and going.
Pacquiao used to do it too.
Yeah, that's true. Pacquiao. But then again, that fainting cost him against Juan Manuel Marquez in the 4th fight. He got wrecked with that right hand because he feinted twice. And Marquez saw the feints coming. He said, "Okay, he's not going to punch here. Let me throw a punch here." Wham! Knocked his ass out. But now here's
He fainted twice, and it looked like he fainted in a different way.
exactly
I want to
fainted.
say something about that fight. I want anybody here to go into your bed or go near your bed, trip face first into your bed, and imagine getting punched in the face while you're falling face first into your bed. You're getting knocked out even if it's a jab.
Don't do that,
There was
people.
nothing Pacquiao. No, but guys, trust me. There was nothing Pacquiao could do to absorb that punch. There was nothing.
I like how Jackson.
like
I like how Jackson calls in. He's like, next time we're gonna be talking about horror movies. He's like, go to your kitchen, grab a knife, and stick it in your throat, and you tell me how it feels. Like, all right, take it easy, Jackson. It's late at night.
Jackson, did you try this?
Yeah.
Did you like before you
No,
like because you called earlier,
fall
and then did you
face-
think about it,
fall
and then
face
went to your
first into
bedroom
bed.
and fell down a few times and came back? Guys, I just ran an experiment.
No. Revolution, Mr. Boxing Trivia. Hold on. This is what I thought, because everybody said Pacquiao's calves are his shock absorbers. So I was like, well, I thought it was the neck. So I went up to the bed and I tripped, fell face first, and I'm like, shit. If somebody's punching me when I'm in free fall, I'm getting knocked out. No matter if it's like, guys, I'm serious. Go do that.
No, don't do it.
do that. And
don't
that was
do it.
Not a legit knockout.
Don't listen to him. Don't knock yourselves out by throwing your faces onto the floor.
You're falling
That's
into your
horrible
bed,
advice.
Nothing's gonna happen.
Before you go to bed, guys.
Yeah. Hey guys,
Chip off
before
something and fall on your
Nothing will
face.
happen.
See what happens.
I have guys, another thing you should do. Get in your car and drive above the speed limit, and when you get pulled over by the cops, tell them that you have a gun, and then put your hand in your pocket and make believe that you have a gun and see what happens. All right, guys, that's my little trick.
See if you
there.
get shot.
Yeah, see
Well,
if you
I've already done that a couple of times.
you
So,
would not
I
surprise
know
me.
what it's.
Jeez, it wouldn't surprise me, Jackson. It would not
No,
surprise me.
What I was saying is, though, that punch, he couldn't really absorb it that well.
Well, he ran straight into it, man. It was a bomb.
It's old news. But look at his leg. If he ran into the same punch like 2 minutes earlier, and he was fine.
He wasn't fine. He got shook up.
He was fine.
He got shook up. That's why he smiled, because
No,
he
trust
hurt
me,
him.
BDA, if you do what I tell you to do, you understand that punch. Anybody would have been knocked out.
He wants me to knock myself out. That's what he wants. He wants me
Yeah.
off the show. It ain't gonna
That'd
happen,
be cool.
Jackson.
You should record it too. You do that.
No,
Guys,
does
you know what? Next
anybody
time
know
you're
what
in the
I'm
shower,
talking
next
about,
time you're in the
though?
shower,
Like, he didn't
get
have
a
a
bunch
shock
of
absorber.
a bunch of soap and put it on the floor.
See if you slip.
Hold on, Jackson.
Okay.
What did you
Oh,
say,
man.
Jackson? I didn't hear.
This is Pacquiao's cat. You guys are in a quite funny mood tonight. Pacquiao's calves absorb all the punches.
All right, Jackson, we gotta go, man.
I'm telling you.
All right, I got you. We gotta go.
You know what it
Bye,
is, Jackson? It's late at night. We had a couple of drinks, couple of pulls. So,
We gotta
This
go,
time
man.
we did, yeah.
All right, Jackson, thank you for calling in.
All right.
Don't go to bed, but don't fall on your bed head first. All right,
Jackson always sounds nice. Come to think about it, right?
Maybe.
Jackson. You always sound relaxed. I wonder why.
I mean, I just have a relaxed voice. I mean, I can't help that.
All right, listen.
Are you on a little smoke there?
No, I don't smoke weed. I get panic attacks if I ever do. I'm not a real big.
Yeah,
I drink
he's got
like
Xanax.
once a
He got a
month.
prescription of Xanax. That's what it is.
You know what? If you can't handle the weed, sometimes the
No,
mushrooms.
guys, it's just my voice. I can't help it. Like,
Jackson, if you can't handle the weed, what you
Jackson,
can
I
do
wish
is use the
I
mushrooms.
wish I had that voice, to be honest with you.
Anyway, I'm not gonna say it though, because now it could be
no, I
used
don't
against
like
me.
it. Everybody says I'm
Jackson,
high.
what's the
It's
deal
terrible.
with who got to go to rehab? Jason Bourne? What's this all about?
Yeah, because
Jason
he
Bourne's
said
in
we should
rehab?
have a relaxed voice. He said something, so we got to pay for his rehab because he knows about the drugs. So
All right.
So
Wait, hold
obviously
on.
he's
Wait.
on the drugs.
We're not gonna
Wait a
cast
second. I didn't know
aspersions.
Jason Bourne was in rehab.
He's not, man. I don't know what Jackson's talking
No,
about. He's
we're
spreading.
putting him in rehab.
Yeah. Stop spreading fake news. Listen, we
Oh,
gotta
put him
go.
in rehab.
Listen, we gotta go. Jackson, thank you for calling in. We'll catch you later, unless the stream
right.
gets cut off because of Kevin from Chicago's remarks from earlier.
Hey, Jason Bourne, if you're listening, if it's getting that bad, go to rehab.
By the way, I think
Just
we got.
give it to me. Whatever you got, just give it to me.
Give it a
Start
revolution.
with that.
All right, before we go, I think we got. I think Dr. Midnight is on the line. Hold on a second.
All right.
Is this Dr. 805?
This is Dr. 805, yeah.
No, this isn't Dr. 805. Who is this Michael Stott?
No, this is Dr. 805.
All right, you sound like it.
Do you want to learn about some nutritional benefits from enhanced proteins?
All right. What do you want to say, Michael? Come on, man. It's
No,
late
never
at
mind.
night.
This is Mike Stein.
Yeah, I know.
Messing with you.
This is late at
Dang,
night.
you should have kept playing, man. You should have kept it on.
No, I thought BDA was about to hang up. That's what
No.
that's what
I knew it
thought.
was
Like,
you.
what the hell's going on here?
I knew it
No,
was
I
you.
heard that guy before when he was on your stream. I was like tripping out on all this, like doctor knowledgeable stuff about. What was he talking about? Concussions or something?
Oh, he was talking about PEDs.
PEDs. Or
PEDs, they
some
have.
sort
Like
of
you're talking about
stuff.
Dr. 805, yep.
Yeah, he must live nearby me.
Yeah, probably.
But anyways, and by the way, I'm gonna try what Jackson. I was listening into that. I'm gonna try that and see what that's like.
No, don't try it, man. What's the
I'm
matter
gonna
with
put
you?
him. It's not gonna be that bad, is it?
Well, I mean, I think he's planning on doing some psychic stuff from afar with telekinesis, and he's gonna move the bed at the last minute so that you bang your head or your face against the ground or something. Maybe I'm just paranoid. Maybe I smoked too much of what Jackson smoked, but you shouldn't do that, man.
Jesus. What was that BDA? My
Yeah.
God. Where the fuck?
Yeah, that was
I mean, I know I come with corny shit, but my shit makes sense.
All right, Michael. Michael, what do you want to talk about?
Yeah. Oh, you know what I'm gonna probably bring up, bro. He's in the news. You guys have been talking about him every so often.
Jeffrey
Everybody's
Epstein?
kind of sleeping on him a little bit because there's other big names, going on in the boxing scene. But Devin Haney, that's how you say his name, right? Haney.
Absolutely.
Hennessy,
the guy with the big nostrils.
Oh, come on, don't say that, because then we're
guy
gonna
with the
get
big
Troy's.
lips and nostrils.
Don't say that about the nostrils. Troy's gonna call back.
He's gonna get upset.
Oh. Yeah, that guy, the guy with Top Rank. Anyways, he keeps talking bad about the goods, bro. And you can't talk bad about the goods and not get your boy Mike Stott riled up over here.
That's right.
Because he's saying that he's going to knock out Ryan Garcia like in one round or something.
Did you happen to
some
see
of these interviews that I was...
Did you happen to see the video that we had here, the new alert for the Ryan Garcia?
I think I saw something, but I don't know. Maybe I missed some of the other ones.
Well, I don't know if I can play it.
Is it the one where he starts dancing or something?
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
You know it.
That's BDA's favorite video of it. Yep.
Of all time, yeah. No, but I can't play it now. It's too late at night.
I think that should probably either be like the intro or the outro to each episode.
That's true. That's a good point. That's a very good idea. That's a very good idea. Unfortunately, if I play it now, it's going to be too exciting for everybody. You won't be able to go to sleep. You'll have to knock yourselves out like Jackson wants you to do. And I don't want anybody to get hurt. So I'm not going to play the clip. All right?
Yeah, we got work tomorrow, dude. We can't,
And by the way,
we got work tomorrow. We can't watch this.
Night,
By the way, we got on Rival Boxing Talk is in the chat. He says, good morning. It is morning over where he's at.
Yeah.
I doubt.
It's like 5 hours ahead of us, right?
That's right, yeah.
So for me, 5 East Coast time. So it's 5:30 in the morning.
Mike, over there in California,
Yes,
what is it? It's 9 o'clock right now, or
9:30.
9:30? Yeah.
9:30. Yeah.
Oh, you're in the past. We're living in the future. We got flying cars.
Yeah. We can tell you the future right now.
It's
That's
crazy,
right.
What happened.
bro. How did you guys do that?
Ryan Garcia is going to be
So
pound for
wait,
pound number
wait.
East
one.
Coast bias.
You guys already
East Coast bias.
you guys already know who's winning the fights before we do them.
I can tell you
Yep.
who. I can tell you Ryan Garcia pound for pound number one here in the future. Tell you that right now.
Yep.
Tell everybody. Tell
Yeah,
everybody.
everybody's not going to see that coming except BDA and maybe me. And
That's right.
That's the facts, man. He's going to be number one. People are going to start seeing it little by little, though, BDA, and then they're going to lie and say, "Oh, I always knew he was pretty good."
I'm going to
You
give
know-
you the
Yeah,
future right
but-
now. I'm going to give you the future today. Ryan Garcia will be the guy who beats Canelo. Remember I said it. I know you're laughing
Yeah, okay,
now.
yeah.
You can laugh
Holy
now.
shit!
You can laugh. You can laugh now.
Wow, recognize. Wow, you just blew my mind right there.
I'm telling you.
You know
He's gonna
what?
be
I
the
saw
guy.
that.
I think he is, dude.
I saw that clip of Canelo and Ryan Garcia sparring, and you could tell Canelo looked so much bigger than the dude. You could tell that Canelo sort of like he was very tempted to just pin Garcia against the ground and just tickle him everywhere. That's the feeling I got. That's what Canelo wanted to do. But by the way, Michael, here's the thing. Everybody
Yes.
knows I say that whole thing about Ryan Garcia. I'm making a joke about being a fan of his. I don't think you're joking.
I'm not joking at all. What the hell?
That's right. There you go.
Why
That's
would
the most-
anybody
Neither's
be
BDA.
joking about Ryan Garcia?
And neither are you, BDA.
Oh, trust me, I'm joking, but I'm afraid that Michael is not joking, and that's what's creeping me out here. But listen,
So, do you think that he's like this hype job to make some money for a little while until he gets knocked out by somebody? Or
you never know in boxing. To be serious here, you never know how good a guy's gonna be. I mean, think about it. Danny Garcia for a while was a prospect, and then he was beating up some good opposition. And now look at him now. He's fought the best two welterweights in the world, and he's come up short twice. He's got 2 losses, so anybody can lose. I'm not saying, by the way, I'm not saying Danny Garcia sucks because he lost twice. But what I'm saying is, I haven't seen anything from Ryan Garcia that comes close to what Danny Garcia showed coming up as a fighter. So anyway, that's my 2 cents there regarding Ryan Garcia.
I think he's got a lot of time, and I think that Ryan Garcia is going to get big. I think he is still kind of growing into his body, but I think the dude's going to be muscular as hell when he gets closer to 30.
Well, I know you're already
I
getting
really
big
think that guy's
just by.
going to be pretty strong.
I know you're already getting big just by watching him fight. But listen, that's how we're gonna end it. That's because
Exactly, sir. Exactly.
that's the way we do it. But thank you for calling in, Michael, and call back next time. All right.
Peace, Mike.
One more thing, Ryan Garcia. I could do push-ups with no hands when Ryan
Oh,
Garcia's fighting.
okay, come on, man.
He's God.
All
All right, see you
right.
later.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you for that image. All right, now listen. One last thing I wanted to say before we hit the hay, as they say, in the farms. Apparently, after Donaire lost, he couldn't get his hands on the WBSS Muhammad Ali trophy. Inoue lent it to him so that he could fulfill a promise to his sons and let them see it or touch it, whatever. You know what? That's a very touching gesture. It just goes to show you how there's still good people out there who are willing to help each other out, and that fills me with a lot of jealousy and with a lot of dread because I'm a good Christian and nobody pays attention to it. Nobody gives me props for it. So what I'm saying here is, if I were Donito Donaire, okay, if I were Donito Donaire, what I would do is say to Inoue, thank you very much, thank you, you're great, that's very generous. And then when he gives it to me, I take it home, I let my disgusting children touch it, and then I take a big old dump inside the trophy and I return it to him. I leave it in Inoue's front step, in his front door, and I just leave it there, and I leave a note that says, fuck you. Is that too mean, or is that a good joke?
Inouye probably beat him to it, and now like his kids touched it. Like
Oh.
Inouye probably took it in the back and rubbed his balls on the trophy and said, "Here, bring this to your kids to fucking kiss."
Yeah, I'm gonna rub my balls because you broke my fucking face, you motherfucker.
No, wait a minute. You gotta do it with an Asian accent. Come on.
Well, I can't do it the Filipino accent, right? I gotta do it.
Do the Filipino. Do Filipino. Who cares?
No, I'm gonna do it in Japanese.
No, that's not Japanese. That's Southeast Asian, man. Hey, by the way,
Chinese.
imagine if Inoue took the trophy and dipped it in Fukushima in those Fukushima waters and then gave it to Donaire. You think Donaire's children are gonna grow extra heads or something?
That's just wrong.
I'm
So
just
bad.
saying.
Yeah, what are you talking about, BDA? That's wrong.
That's bad,
that's
BDA. Shame on you.
Yeah, talking about being aroused by looking at Ryan Garcia, that's okay. But I make a little joke about Fukushima. All of a sudden, I'm the bad guy. Well, listen.
The bad guy.
Say goodnight to the bad guy, all right? Because it's time to shut it off. Thank you guys, by the way, for joining us for this late night comfy stream.
One more thing to recognize.
All right.
Yes.
This is a callback to yesterday. Recognize. This is for you. Listen.
Oh man, that was. Oh shit!
The best part is he's got little fingers. His fingers are so tiny.
Alan R says, and this polluted womb. He's talking about. That's a reference to Scarface there. Your womb is so polluted.
Her womb is polluted.
It's polluted.
Yeah, you violated her right there.
Her womb is so polluted. All right. John Gonzalez just donated with a super chat. He says, BDA is the worst Christian ever. And I went to school with a youth pastor that impregnated a 17-year-old and stabbed her to death. Jeez, all right. Well, that's not a high praise, but thanks a lot, John. You know what? You can insult me all you want. As long as you donate with a super chat, you can call me and tell me whatever you want. All right, John? Thank you for your contribution. You keep the gravy train a-rolling.
Choo-choo.
All right, yeah. All right, so listen, guys.
I would pay to see what's in Gonzalez's brain, John Gonzalez's brain.
I think it's just black like a black ink or goo, I should say. Black goo or ink or just evil, just prime evil matter. Listen, this is a nice little comfy stream, late night comfy stream. Should we do another comfy stream whenever we have the chance?
Hey, I like you. You do. I do my business at night.
Do you really, by the way? Because yeah, I'm listening here and I'm thinking, wait, it's 12:37 a.m. where you're at as well, East Coast, and it's a Sunday. What the heck are you doing tomorrow?
I like to get an early start.
Well, there you go.
I have the rest of the day to myself.
Well, that's good. That's good. What about you, Wilson? How come you're up at this hour?
I got sleep problems.
It seems like
that too, Revolution. I don't sleep. I don't sleep past 4 hours. I don't know what's wrong.
Jeez. And yeah,
And I get nightmares too. I get chronic nightmares.
Are you kidding?
It's weird. No, I have crazy nightmares all the time.
Sleep paralysis or nightmares?
I get that too.
Oh yeah.
I'm a fucking mess when I sleep, so I just stay up late.
When you know how he wakes up from his nightmares?
Oh no, don't. That's actually how you react when you get sleep paralysis. You try to scream, but you can't, and it's just this weird, it's just this weird sound that comes out. Like it's like a.
Sometimes I yawn like that.
Dude, last night when we were doing that, and I could tell, I could hear legitimate laughter in the middle,
Yeah, I couldn't help it, man.
We were having so much fun with that last night.
You guys are. You know what? I hate that you make fun of that moment. That was a little warm moment.
That's evil. That's just pure evilness right there, man.
Well, that's what we do on the show. That's what we do.
I felt
on the
bad.
show.
BDA, I got a confession to make. After I heard the way I laughed because I played it back, you know what I said?
What's that?
I'm an evil motherfucker. That's exactly what I said. That's an evil laugh right there.
You know what? You played it back. That's how evil you are.
That's how evil I am.
And then you're like,
played it back.
That's
it. Let me hear this again.
And it's you. You did it.
You know what? Now it makes sense that recognize karma that your boxing tapes were thrown away. It's karma for being such an evil person.
I haven't been the same since then. My heart got colder.
Hey, didn't you react the same way Rocky Lodridge did when you found out about the tapes?
Yes. Yes.
And by the way, Johnny M in the chat room said what I was about to tell you, Revolucion. You gotta work out before going to bed. That way, you got to be tired. If you're not tired, that's how the sleep paralysis happens.
Well, to be honest, I've been taking melatonin lately.
Oh yeah,
That's
that
been
helps too.
helping me.
Well, there you go.
And
Remember,
yeah. So yeah, it's
If you're
something I'll
getting
deal with.
racing thoughts, that's gonna keep you up. You gotta stay relaxed as possible.
Yeah, like often, like if I'm in bed and I can't fall asleep, I just say like I gotta get up. I'll go in the living room and hang out a little bit, chill out on the couch. Like if you just lay in bed like for hours and hours, like it doesn't happen.
Alan,
But, yeah, and if I work out too, I try to work out like way earlier in the day, get that energy out.
there you
I'm
go.
like an energetic dog, man. You gotta like exercise them.
Alan R has a good suggestion. He says, rub one out.
Well, yeah, yeah, of course. That's taken care of.
Now you know what you gotta do. You gotta jerk off before you go to sleep. You have too much tension. Just jerk off a little bit.
Jerking off, and I've been seeing a new girl, so that's actually been helping a lot.
Does she look like Ryan Garcia?
Ah, man. I tried to date a fucking Hispanic chick earlier this year. Back to white women.
The women with the short hair. I don't know if it's a good or a bad thing, but it depends on the day.
Gotta be something to grab onto,
That's true. That's true. All right, listen,
at least
fellas.
bring it to the shoulder. Anyway, good night, guys.
Yeah, we gotta go. Yeah, that's a good way to end it on the short hair girls. All right. So listen, all right. Revolucion just fucked off with the comments calling me an asshole. Did he call me a bitch like Dead Game at the end of his calls? He called me a bitch, didn't he? And he tried to. And you guys were defending him.
Funny, man.
And you guys were defending him, saying, "Oh no, he didn't call you a bitch. He called me a bitch." I heard it.
I think he called you babe.
Why would you call another man babe? That makes no sense. He called me a bitch.
It's like a player thing, like it's kind of gay. You're right, but
kinda.
No, Dead Game. You ain't gay. I ain't saying you gay, brother. So don't get crazy. I like Dead Game.
Yeah, so do I.
Me and Dead Game barely agree with anything, but I could talk to him.
That's right. That's absolutely correct. All right, so listen, recognize. Thank you for joining us, Revolution 2, late night.
Hey, if you want to do more of these at this time, like I said, man, best time for me.
All right, fantastic. And then
right,
it'll be the extra dirty R-rated, X-rated, whatever BDA comfy stream.
Yeah, the only problem is that YouTube will shut you down right after that. But yeah,
I was thinking, you know what we can do? We can do a test on BitChute.
Oh yeah,
that's apparently they let you do.
Have you ever uploaded a video on BitChute?
No, but I'm gonna
heard
try.
The only problem with that is it takes a really long time to upload videos.
Yeah, probably because they don't have the infrastructure that YouTube has. But you never know, man. Hey, if it starts getting bigger and bigger, like Michael Stott, his pants, and when he looks at Ryan Garcia, you never know, man. It might work out. Well, listen, we got to try it. We got to give it a try. And we also have to watch, we got to get, what's his name? Gonzalo, Gypsy Boxing Talk style, whatever. And you and everybody else, and we got to watch Ruiz Joshua one, and we chop it up, and we put it on.
Yeah, that'd be fun. I'm definitely down for that one.
Be a little preview. All right.
All right, man.
Gonzalo says,
next time. Peace
all right.
Chat.
All right. Take it easy, Recognize. Thank you for joining us.
Peace.
Gonzalo says, I want to do a breakdown for the Kovalev fight with you, BDA. Yeah, that will work. Why not? Although that fight is too recent. We can't really put too many clips of that. The Punisher
Gonzalo doesn't want to do a breakdown with me because he'll be like, all I'll be saying is, you see that fake punch right there?
You see that acting?
Gonzalo end up getting into an argument.
Yeah, he's gonna scream at you. Yeah. The Punisher says, "Why is Ryan Garcia?" Was that?
I'm out of here, man.
All right, Recognize. Thank you for joining us, man. Always appreciate it. Take it easy. Gonzalo says, I want to do a breakdown for the Kovalev. Okay, now Punisher says, why is Ryan Garcia always so tired? He's been running around BDA's dreams. Okay, come on. I don't appreciate those jokes. Blah, blah. Boxing Spectrum says, I will recognize it's all good. All right, listen, fellas, thank you for joining us. It was a nice little comfy stream. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope we settled some things in regards to last night's fights. And before we do go, I want to give a shout out to John Gonzalez and Chris K, who donated via the super chat. Thank you guys for keeping the gravy train rolling so we can upgrade our systems here and create new stuff and more innovations, try to get phone calls. That's the other thing we're trying to do, trying to get upgrade our blog talk service so that we can, because remember guys, this blog talk radio doesn't pay for itself, and we're trying to get phone calls, upgrade the service to get phone calls from overseas, not just the United States and Canada. So we're working on that. Thank you guys, really appreciate it. Of course, appreciate you guys joining the show and listening. Thank you to everybody that joined us on the panel, everybody that called. And speaking of the panel and the listeners, let's give a shout out to everybody that was in the chat room tonight. The Punisher, shout out to the Punisher, Nes Mendoza, and History Vault, Alan R, Jonathan Morrison, Gonzalo was there, Leemos Lo-Fi, Chris Gonzalez, shout out to Chris Gonzalez, Virtuoso, who also called in, Jessica
90
Gimeno.
seconds.
Oh, come on. Always that message while I'm trying to give the shoutouts here. 90 seconds. I know it's 90 seconds. You don't gotta tell me squat. Who else? Johnny M was in there as well. Hold on a second. Okay. Squared Circle, Johnny M, Rio Sigma CG. If I miss anybody, guys, you tell me. Jay Perez was there earlier as well. Jason Bourne, the Funktopus, Pugalakan. And anyway, Gus Sandoval, the Fight Scout, Amok PvP. And if I forget anybody, you guys let me know. Hawker Mustang as well in there. Thank you guys for joining us. You keep the show rolling with your contribution and with your support. And we'll see you in the next one, folks. Take it easy. Have a good night.